excited. Are you?
Yeah, I mean, it's kind of been back to back because we did, this is the third event in Japan, then we had one event in the U.S. They had
Last
one
weekend.
in St. Louis. Yeah, and then
Now we have one next weekend too, a double header.
Yeah, so that's like drifting every weekend to watch. So I'm glad we're giving everybody something to see and watch during this hard times we have right now. But speaking of which, yeah, since the whole COVID-19 mess, we don't have any spectators once again, but we do have live streaming. We got you guys in front of the screen, so that's all it counts, right?
But yeah, other than that, I mean, with the doubleheader coming up and everything, so that there's a lot going on, especially with online and being with the social distancing. So it's a good thing that we have this live stream going, so then we can have everybody checking it out. But
so once again, since it is the whole COVID thing, we have one of our judges who is in Canada right now, Ryan Lontaine. He is joining us. Hey, Ryan. There you go. It looks kind of spooky in your room.
It's a little dark in his house right now.
Yeah. We don't have any audio from him right now, so we can say whatever we want, and he can't really deny it. No, I'm just kidding. Thanks for joining us. And also to the left of me, or to the left of us, we have FD Japan judge Yoichi Imamura. He is one of the judges, and me, Robbie Nishida. So that's three of us. We will be judging line, angle, and style.
Yes. So like you were saying, so Robbie Nishida's going to be covering the style side of it, while we have Yoichi Imamura going to be doing the angle, and then Ryan Lontaine from remote going to be doing line. But he also has, once again, the founder of Formula Drift, Kazu Iwata, which is going to go ahead and assist him if we have with any issues or anything like that. So.
Yeah, so once again, talking about the whole COVID mess, I know it's like repeated, and everybody's probably getting tired of hearing it, but we got to fight through this, and we're all doing it together. And we're missing some of the drivers, the international drivers, such as Mad Mike, Matthew Hill, Nian, Benjamin Chen, and many others. So I hope we can get over this, so we can get everybody back in here and have a full roster.
But at the same time, we do have 42 solid drivers going to be competing today in the qualifying session. They're going to be doing 2 runs, but go ahead and explain that.
Yeah, so the red area is the judge area. You got the start line, you got the long straightaway, you got first outer zone on the left side. And right after the outer zone, you have to use the momentum and go into the in clip, where you have to brake with the angle and everything. Go into the in clip. After that, you got out zone 2. And on this screen, it doesn't show, but right after out zone 2, on the opposite side of the track, we have outside zone 3, right before the in clip 2, which is right before the finish line. So the out zone 1 is it's a critical area. It's there's a lot of points that you could miss there, but also all the other in clips and out zones have 5 points each from the line judge and the angle judge, and they have a total of 10 points each from the line and angle judge from the out zone 1. That's a total of 30 points each from each judge. And there's 40 points, which I am the style judge. I will have fluidity and commitment, which is 20 points each, total of 40 points, which is going to equal out to 100 points. And all the drivers will be qualifying. They have 2 runs that they're going to have to make. And their better run is going to be the qualify score for this weekend. So, like you said, there was 42 cars, you said?
Yes, 42 cars, and like you were saying, so there's 3 outer zones and 2 inside clips. So those are going to be the big key areas that we're going to be hitting.
Yeah, so that means 32 cars are going to be qualifying for tomorrow's big day, the main event. So 10 cars are going to have to actually not go home, but they're not going to be able to compete tomorrow. So that's a lot of cars.
That is.
That aren't going to be able to. Okay.
So we're about to kick it off here with Hideo Hiraoka.
I was getting comfortable earlier, and I was getting kind of sleepy, but all of a sudden I'm excited and I'm fully awake. Yeah, I'm like 120% right now.
It's because I'm in your ear now, that's why. Pretty loud in your ear too. So like I was saying, Hideo Hiraoka is going to be our lead for today from Lead Racing, driving the FD3 RX-7. So let's see what he has to bring today.
Yeah, he's a veteran. He's been around the whole drifting scene for
Unfortunately, he wasn't able to make it last at round 2, so let's see what he's bringing today. Ooh, outside zone coming to inside clip 1. Little outside of it, coming in outer zone 2, sweeping through to outer zone 3 to the inside clip 2, which real conservative on that run right there.
Yeah, you can tell definitely. Not on it. The rate to angle and initiation is Very average, very low energy run. There's a lot of adjustment here going to the in clip 1. This is going to hurt him on the style side.
But yes, exactly opposite from the track setup last event on round 2. They're actually coming downhill rather than uphill like it was on round 2. So still has its challenges. Outer zone 1 is pretty deep in the pocket, so they got to kind of at the 3-2-1 initiate and try to hold it all the way through to hit the deepest part of outer zone 1.
Yeah, so this goes with every round, any round, I guess, style side of it. You don't want the cars to actually drive up to the outer zones or in clips and then have to brake and then get back on gas and have to brake. So a lot of adjustment doesn't make it look fluid, doesn't make it look smooth, and also the commitment level. If you're not doing it all in one shot, pretty much you're kind of working your way to there. So.
But overall, like we were saying, just very conservative. So like he was saying, throttling through, staying on throttle, and then not feathering it all the way through the run.
Yeah, but he did. It was a complete run. Looks like he's going to be getting a score. So let's see what the total is going to be. But yeah, like I was saying, Hiraoka has been around for a long time. He's kind of an old school drift guy. Like you said, they did not make it to the first 2 rounds, and he's driving for the lead racing. This FD starting this year. I think he never competed in FD Japan yet, so this is his first time to be here.
So this is good to see a different vehicle. The FT, we didn't see it last 2 times, so.
Yeah.
Once again, here's the replay coming through outer zone 1.
Looks like he left outer zone 1 a little too early. He does hug inside clip 1 pretty good. He leaves outer zone 2 kind of early too. Outer zone 3, he pretty much feels it pretty good. Inside clip 2, he misses a lot of the hash marks.
And if you know, oh, there you go, right there.
Points.
So we got a 74 for the first run.
That's a good start, though. I mean, because getting a score on the board is going to be important. If you're, it's pushed into the corner with the 0 for the first run, it's going to be really hard to.
Coming in the second time, not being able to just give it at all.
Yeah, you're going to be really careful, and that could actually mean too safe. And being too safe could be lacking commitment.
Exactly.
Lacking commitment could be, less style score. So.
Next, we have the number 283, Tsubasa Takizawa, in Zek Nova Japan in the JZX 100 Mark II.
I think this is a borrowed car.
You mentioned it might be 1J, right?
Yeah, or something. So he might be down on power.
Coming in the 3-2-1 zone.
Oh,
ooh, coming off track. That's going to affect him right there. Coming into outer zone 2. Little less angle in outer zone 2. Outer zone 3 swinging through, but couldn't quite get all the way outside. And then coming to inside clip 1, finishing off. So we only saw like one during practice that initiated that early and went a little off track, but if you notice, we're right there, right where the action happens. Coming in, outer zone 2, or inside clip 1 with outer zone 2 barely skimming it into the outer zone 3, not even hitting outer zone 3 at all. And then notice they have to finish drift all the way through the green cones where the finish line is to make it count 100%. Here you go. Here's some drone footage. What do you got for us, Robbie?
Yeah, so it's really hard because we extend a line over there because of the way the outside zone is designed this time. So he didn't go off course, but I think he was 2 tires off right there, right before the outside clip or outside zone 1. But yeah, going off course would actually make the car. It would upset the movement of the car. Car's not as stable, and also him going off course, he had to approach the inside clip 1 with a weird line, so that's going to actually, how can I say it?
Affect coming into inside clip 1.
Yeah, he's not going to be able to get committed and get on gas. He's going to have to kind of pace himself to kind of drive up to the in clip. And also at the outside zone 2, it looked like he was wavering a little bit, so that's not going to.
There you go. We got a score of 65. Like you were saying earlier, it's good to just throw something down at least. It's better than getting it incomplete, you know. So next time around, he can come around and just give it everything he's got.
Yep, exactly. But you know, getting a high score for the first run is always good too.
It always is.
Yeah.
Nobody's complaining about that. Next, we're going to have Koji Kitagawa with Lead Racing, another FD3 RX-7. They're actually teammates, so number 77. Once again, couldn't make the last 2 events, so see what they're going to throw down right here. Coming in 3-2-1 cone, entering about 2 cone, coming into outer. Ooh, completely missing outer zone 1, and ooh.
So yeah, I think that's going to be an incomplete.
Definitely a rough one.
Unfortunately, yeah, I was watching we watched practice for hours today because they had a 6-hour practice right before this. Since we didn't have practice yesterday, we have 6 hours practice and they all have 12 laps to do. But it looked like he didn't make a mistake like that. So maybe the pressure of the qualification is, you know, maybe it got to him or something. But he has one more run, so hopefully he can put together a run.
Give us something what he was giving us during a practice run, but definitely a rough one. The initiation coming through just looked like he didn't have enough speed just to push all the way through to from outer zone 1 into the inside clip 1.
Yeah, then I guess watching it from the outside, I was just here a week or 2 ago driving my car, but watching it from the outside, it looks pretty simple, but you know, getting closer to this wall on the front or on the left side over here, right outside of outside zone 1, is pretty intimidating, especially with these cars with high horsepower. They're approaching this wall. The wall comes quick, you know, so a little bit of mistake could actually end up flipping their car. Or I don't know if you watched last year's event, but it rained and we had a couple of cars. One of the cars actually flipped right in front of us, because they slipped in the rain, and it was horrible. But
yeah, it was like unexpected. It just rained and they weren't practicing for that, but definitely makes it challenging having that outer zone 1 pushed further back, and then 3-2-1 cone still there, so they have to initiate at the same time, carry that speed all the way through. So you're going to see a lot of interesting entries here. But next is Toshiharu Kazama over at Team Kazama with Power Vehicles in the JZX 100 Chaser. Real shallow inside the outer zone 1, coming to inside clip 2, real outside of that. Outer zone 2 to outer zone 3 with barely inside of it, but once again, pretty conservative. It was a run, but definitely not where it wants to be in the box, and ready to throw down some numbers for it. So see the replay coming through. Notice coming through outer zone 1 right there, not even getting into the box, and then inside clip 1 completely out. Able to hit a little bit of outside zone 2 and 3, but then inside clip 1 barely being there. So it's definitely a run in the books, but probably not what Mr. Kazama wanted to throw down.
Yeah, it was overall, I'm not the angle judge or anything, but overall looked kind of shallow. And he kind of just drove through the whole thing. So once again, if you go in or try to go in a little too fast, well, line judge, he was offline a lot too. So
threw down a 64. I mean, I know he was having a little bit of issues during the practice run, so hopefully he'll dial his car in a little bit better and get a solid run the second go.
Yeah. Well, like I said, if you reach the outside zone 1 and if you pass it too much, you have to sit there and kind of wait for the car to, you know, catch grip or do something to be able to make the car come into inside clip 1.
Mm-hmm.
That's the part where you're going to lose a lot of commitment points there. Even though you look pretty smooth throughout the whole track, you know, you still have to be committed, get on gas, you know, a little earlier than.
Showing the style is a pretty big solid point scale for when it comes down to throwing down for qualifying. Next we have Saori Iwasaki with the 5X tires with Garage LFW Nadi. The S15 SR, one of the female drivers we have, coming through real shallow, but having to bail on that. Going to finish the run-up, but that is definitely a rough one.
Yeah, I guess it is the qualifying thing too. It looked like her practice runs were getting better and better earlier. But, you know, qualify time comes. It looked like the car was gripped up a little bit too much. The rear end didn't come out as much as maybe she anticipated.
Yeah, definitely gripped up right there. I just feel like they should hold off a little bit more during a 3-2-1 and then initiate and then push through, especially how deep the outer zone 1 is going to be. But like we were saying before, that's going to be the biggest challenge today, is trying to get through outer zone 1. Be okay, but I ain't complaining too much.
I don't need a jacket, just the short sleeve is good enough right now. But yes, being up here in Ebisu, been here so many times that the weather changes just like that.
It does.
It's crazy. So we could expect anything right now, but I just want it to stay like this. And I'm not even gonna knock on wood because I don't want to get all jinxed and all this other stuff. It's just like, let's just go with the flow.
All right, next we have Atsushi Wachi with Professor Auto Service. S15 Sylvia coming through the outer zone 1. Nice initiation into that. Coming to the inside clip 1, a little deep, coming out of outer zone 1, causing them to come a little bit deep, but into outer zone 3, smashing both cones. Nice, coming into inner clip 1. So definitely had the true commitment coming into outer zone 1, but I think playing to the angle and everything coming into outer zone 1 might have affected a little bit of it. But here we go with the replay. Initiating, coming to outer zone 1, fully through.
Yeah, then he had to wait because the car went, and right here he does a little reinitiation thing where, hold on one sec.
So that reinitiation is definitely going to affect what the score is going to come out to.
Yeah, overall it looked pretty good. It's just that part is probably the main part that's going to hurt him for the style score because it was almost like a reinitiation there. He's supposed to come out smoothly, so that's going to hurt his fluidity.
I think coming out of outer zone 1 and then taking it so wide and slowing down made him like realize, oh, I got to get on the gas because I got to get through outer zone 2 and 3.
Yeah, exactly. And also we designed the tracks the way it is so it's one of those, if you don't mess it up in the beginning, then everything should kind of
it shifts everything and changes everything for them.
Yeah, everything kind of comes into place as you go, So I think if he didn't do that, probably would have got a higher score too.
But definitely 77 isn't a bad score to push out right now. It's the highest score we got going right now, but definitely room for improvement.
So this is the part that's hard. You have to be smooth, exciting, and accurate.
Yes.
And at the same time, you have to be, well, the accurate part is, being online and throwing a lot of angles. So it's one or the other, or you get it all.
Next, we have number 41, Shinichi Uemura with Team Hirano Tires. Uemura Saori Iwasaki with the JZX 100 Chaser 2J powered. Coming into outer zone 3, swinging around, but definitely pushed too far out and corrected right there at the end. Is that going to affect him with a big, huge correction before the finish line?
Yeah, it's not going to be an incomplete, but that's going to be a big one too.
So like we were saying, coming through, not even getting to the outer zone 1.
And then there's like a huge decel right there. It's okay to decel, but in that area. But yeah, overall, doesn't look so committed and doesn't look so fluid either. And I think the last corner correction is going to hurt him as well. So
because the biggest thing coming from inside clip 2, rolling all the way through drift to the finish, that's the objective here. But like you said, it's not going to cause any incomplete or anything on that run. So 65 definitely got affected with some style and line.
All right, so let's take a little break.
Collect ourselves and come back. So enjoy the commercials. sweet out here.
Yeah, it's beautiful. Okibuki is beautiful, but out here it's really pretty too. They got a ski resort out higher. You can actually see the area from where we're sitting. But I mean, all you do is look around and it's just mountains and forests and woods. Nature.
Well, let's go ahead and push on. So our next one's going to be number 168, Masaya Minoa with Heyman TM Lambo and the JZX 100 Chaser. Another one of our female drivers. Had a nice little entry right there. Coming into inside clip 1, a little deep on inside clip 1. Rolling into outer zone 2 to 3 into inside clip 1. Not a bad run at all. I know she's been struggling all morning with practices, but definitely slowed down after the inside clip 2 or inside clip 1. But let's go and see her replay right here. Coming through, initiating about at the 2 cone. Nice little sweep into outside zone 1. And that's where she slowed down a little but came through.
Yeah, so that wasn't a whole lot of commitment, but actually not so bad being fluid too. So it was very smooth. Not a high energy run, but it looked like she was putting down a pretty solid run to have just enough angle and be able to run the right line, getting closer to the outer zones and the in clips. So let's see what the total is going to come out to be.
The judges have to say. But like I was saying, yes, definitely had some issues early on with practice, but looks like she kind of got it together and threw something down for us pretty good.
Yeah, that's pretty impressive to see drivers when, you know, looks like they're struggling throughout the whole practice runs, and then all of a sudden they come down, lay down a pretty good run for their qualifies. So I guess you can practice all you want and do super good at 78 points.
There we go, 78 points.
You can do really good at practice all you want, but, you know, when
it all comes down to the qualifying.
Exactly,
yep.
You only have 2 tries. If you don't do what you usually can do, it's all out the window.
Next is going to be number 35, Takahiro Morozumi with DG5, driving an S15 that's SR powered. See what he's going to throw down for us. Coming down the strip, initiating about 2 cone, coming through to outer zone 1. Real shallow, couldn't quite hit all the way into outer zone 1. Inside clip 1, coming to outer zone 2. Seemed real shallow and calm. And then inside clip 2, barely got inside the inside clip 2. Seemed like the excitement was a little less on this one, especially after that inside clip 1. But here's the replay coming through. Just breaking a lot right there, and then coming through to outer zone 2 to outer zone 3.
And then right here too, after there's a slight hiccup there at the in clip 1 too. We got to look really carefully at the smaller mistakes, or we're gonna be giving, you know, hundreds to everybody. So
exactly.
Being really picky, but at the same time it was. How can I say it? It was a little bit more energetic than the run we just had earlier, but at the same time, it looks like he was not as fluid too. So that kind of makes it, you know, even out as well. So maybe you could take a guess on what the score might be from that too. But there you go. He's in the same ballpark, doing what he's supposed to do. So
that was one thing we noticed in practice. Coming from outer zone 2 to outer zone 3, if they don't flick it hard enough, it's going to affect inside clip 1, causing them to drag out or fall out.
Inside clip 2.
Inside clip 2.
Yeah. And also, it's really hard to tell, but, you know, we've seen hundreds and thousands of cars drive through here, but even it looks like if they're close on the outside zone 2 and filling the zones, they're actually not. And you're supposed to be filling the zones, so you're supposed to be as close as possible to the cones, the first cone and the second cone, and some people leave it too early. That could dock off 2 points there, another 2 points at the next zone. That's already a total of 4 points you're losing just on line. So
True.
You're gonna have to make sure that you lay down a run where the car is really, you know, running the outside line, running the outside zone, so it's close as possible, and you have to stay in the zone as long as possible too. So with angle, we're asking for a lot. I know. I know.
Next is number 408, Shoya Saito with the Car Guy Racing, driving the S15 SR powered. And if you don't remember from last time, he is the youngest Formula Drift Japan driver we have right now. Had a nice dip into outer zone 1, coming into outer zone 2, whipping into outer zone 3, but just once again not being able to quite connect in that outside or inside clip 2. This is another one right here. We saw early in practice he was struggling a little bit. Then he had a little bit of, it seemed like, car issues, but definitely let that get past him. And he came out here and actually threw down a run that, you know.
Yeah, I'm surprised. Like, to be honest, like you're saying, it looked like his car was running rough here and there. Couldn't get a clean run together during practice, but he just did right now, and it was pretty exciting to watch. Obviously, the line and the angle part I wasn't really paying attention to.
But here's a replay
the style
right
judge,
here.
but let me go ahead and take a look at it. Okay, flick right there. There's a adjustment. Kind of slow to get back on gas over here. A little bit of waver right there. Pretty good right through here to the end. So yeah, I think that's like a better than average.
Out of what
You know,
he's been
yeah.
producing, yes, you're definitely right. But once again, like I was saying, if you don't remember last time, youngest FD Japan driver we have right now, what, 18 years old?
Man, I don't even remember what I was doing when I was 18. Like,
I don't need. I
You're
wasn't
younger than
driving like this. That's
yeah,
for
me
sure.
neither, yeah, I wasn't driving anything like this. I didn't have a car like this. The most I had was.
What are you talking about? I'm still struggling to drive right. So, but definitely impressive. But also a good run to throw down for the first one because he also has another one to try at. So he can come out with a little bit more fire next time and show us what he has.
Yeah, then I also like their new look.
Boom.
His car looks pretty good.
It does. 78.
Yeah, see, there you go. He missed. If he could tighten up the line, tighten up getting a little closer to all the, like the outside zone 1, I think he missed a whole lot of that because it looked like his bumper was right outside of that box that we drew too. So if he can tighten that up, get closer to the outside zone, stuff like that, I think it would be a pretty impressive run.
And then finish strong right at the end with that inside clip 2.
Yep.
Oh, yeah, inside clip 2. Next we have number 53, Mitsunori Yoshimura with Team Mori, S15 SR powered. Actually a rookie driver this year, so coming into outer zone 2, sweeping all the way through to outer zone 3, getting as much as he can at outer zone 3, and still maximizing inside clip 2. Definitely love the finish on that one. Put it all back together whenever toward the end, so that was very nice. See this replay right here.
Yeah, so he started off good. It looked like he had some energy coming into here, but right after he passes in clip 1, after this he kind of waits and waits. Kind of slower back, getting back on gas. And right here too, he had to lay down the e-brake a lot just to adjust himself. Not so fluid, not super committed either.
That shows the difference in keen eyes. I was saying that it was a pretty good end run, and Robbie's tearing it apart right there. But no, definitely on inside clip 1, slowed down big time, causing it to affect outside zones 2 and 3. But still being able to finish hitting the zones that he needed to hit. But like you said, the excitement was 100% theirs. Wasn't 100% there, but a 77 definitely is not a bad first score.
Yeah, so what happened was he killed angle, but he went for the line and he filled most of the zones, got close to the in clips. Did an average job on style too, so that pretty much puts him right there. You know, it's a C. That's a C plus.
Not bad for a first run, and definitely gives room for improvement, just like I've been saying for most of these other ones scoring in the 70s. So next we have number 9, Harutomo Kaminishi in the sponsored by Diva S15 SR powered. Coming into outer zone 2, full throttle in it, trying to get something down. But the inside clips definitely were a struggle for him today. We just had back-to-back SRs right there. Well, here's a replay coming through inside clip 1, really deep on that one.
He washes out right here, so he had to take outside zone 2 very wide, which ended up making him getting a little wider than he probably anticipated for outside zone 3.
But both inside clips just not being able to just tuck it in tight. So definitely going to affect the scores. Here you go. Here's a little bit of camera view of the pit region. And then taking right off. Not the best run we've seen out of him today. He had some better runs definitely during practice, but throwing something down, I feel like I'm repeating myself because there you go, 73.
Well, I think everybody's in the same shoes right now. Everybody's trying to, you know, it is qualify.
Put something down on paper and then build upon that.
Yeah, and like you said, some of the people, you know, they're probably having surprise attacks where they're like, oh, I wasn't able to do this during practice, but I can.
That's
or maybe,
true.
You know, maybe that's their true ability that they just couldn't unleash during practice.
So next we have another one of our female drivers, number 87, Yukiko Ishiguro. In the real style, Reality S15, SR powered. Once again, coming in, initiating strong. Coming in outer zone 2 or outer zone 1. Trying to hold it, coming into inside clip 1, rolling out of outer zone 2. Sweeping into outer zone 3 into inside clip 1, but real shallow in both areas. Couldn't get quite deep all the way into the pocket on those ones. But the initiation, though, coming straight through. Let's see this replay right here.
Yeah, so that's the part. Her initiation looked pretty good right at entry right here.
Throttled down to commit to it, but then slowed down, e-braked right
again,
there.
Yeah, right here. Once again, car gets washed out. Now the line is wonky from outside zone 2. And it looks like they're leaving outside zone 3 kind of early and kind of shallows up and wavers there too. So I guess everybody's kind of making the similar mistakes, well, style-wise, because it looks like I'm giving out, you know, similar scores to a lot of people because even if they put together a good initiation or an average initiation, it looks like they wash out, they have to wait. It doesn't look like they're getting right back on gas.
It's just all average right now. Nobody's throwing that true excitement coming through. But listen, 71 right there. So we're finding our commonality here in the 70s. Haven't had our first 80s or 90s yet, so we'll see what we got going for us. So next is going to be number 80, Yuta Kumatsu with Komatsu Racing, driving the Lexus IS350 2J powered. This was his new car that he debuted at Okubuki, so we'll see what he's going to throw down today. Nice entry coming through, throttling all the way through to inside clip 1. Holding it through, a little washed out on that. Outer zone 2 sweeping to outer zone 3. And then a little bit washed out on that also. Had a little nice exciting flare coming through, but it just seemed like it wasn't in the zones like it was supposed to be, and that's what's really going to affect him.
Yeah, and once again, I sound like a broken record maybe, but this is very similar. What happens right here around inside clip 1, it looks like the cars are waiting. Yeah, then they kind of wash out a little bit deeper out before outside zone 2. So I think the commitment level, they are kind of committed going into outside zone 1. But since the car's not rotated enough and they don't have any more commitment after that, it looks like the speed kind of carries the car out. And they're supposed to be using the angle of the car to kind of slow the car down so they could situate their car so they have a good line coming out of inside clip 1, going out to outside zone 2. And this is the key area maybe for this track this time.
Throwing down a 72 on that one. Just like he's saying, so coming into outer zone 1, there's not a lot to play with afterwards. So these guys are holding off, e-braking a little bit too hard coming into inside clip 1, and then that's ruining the rest of the line for the rest of the track for them, which they're trying to make up. Up through changing their angles in the zones that they're supposed to be in.
Yeah, so obviously for it to have a higher style score, we want you to come in and just kind of drop the mic, do a mic drop run, you know, not come in and kind of feel it out or anything, you know.
So next we have number 18. He is with the Cardis Okinawa in the Crown 2J powered. Sweeping into outer zone 2, but definitely not on the line he wanted. To outer zone 3, but trying to hug around outer zone 2, but a little bit shallow on that also. So that was one of the vehicles that sustained a little damage over at Okuwiki, but definitely was coming out today to throw some angle and heat around. But let's see this replay coming to outer zone 1, trying to maximize as much as he can of outer zone 1, but kind of effective his angle into inside clip 1. And finishing pretty strong.
Yeah, so I don't want to sound like a broken record, but very, very similar style side through the past couple of cars here, where they come in, they don't do a hard flick, so the rate to angle isn't crazy. At the same time, they don't go in too deep where they're feathering onto, they're dragging the e-brake a little bit, and they're not, getting right back on gas. They're not making the car rotate as hard as they're supposed to, and also getting washed out after outside zone 1.
Throwing down a 77.
Yeah, but like I said, you can have an average style score, tighten up the lines, throw a little bit of angle, then that can actually get you a overall high score, because we're looking at everything. We're not just looking at how you flick, how you do this. We're looking at if you can do that at the same time.
Encompassing everything as one.
Yeah, running like a super deep angle, running a super deep line into all the zones and in clips.
So next who we have coming up is going to be number 93, Manki Ito with Team Hirano Tire, JZX 100 Chaser, 2J powered.
Yes, this is a veteran driver too, so he probably knows what needs to be done as well.
All right, let's see what he's going to throw down right here. Coming down the hill. Nice aggressive initiation, committing through. Ooh. But then slowing down big time right there, coming into outer zone 2, sweeping into outer zone 3, full throttle in it, but definitely brake coming into outer zone 3, and then maximizing what he could in the inside clip 2.
There you go, there's a little bit of excitement level for that run, where he had to wait a little bit around in clip 1, but he kind of made everything look smooth.
Flicked it hard into outer zone 1, coming inside clip 2, and then right here.
Yeah, it looked like he was almost going to wash out like everybody else did, but he kind of held his own. So
it seemed like outer zone 3, it just seemed like he braked a lot more because he realized he didn't flick it hard enough and he was going to lose inside clip 2. But he definitely got inside clip 2, but it might have affected his outer zone 3 score. But there's our first 80 right there. We are now in the 80s.
Yeah, so right now he was committed. I think I gave him a lot more than everybody else with the commitment level too.
I felt a little bit of roller coaster action there. I was like super excited with that huge initiation, and then kind of like feathered off a little, and then came back into it.
Yeah.
But 80 is definitely solid points to throw down, but definitely a lot more room to build.
Yeah. So there's a lot of points on the table. So
there is. So next we have number 328, Shinichiro Saito in the car guy racing team with in the S13180SX 2J powered. This is the father of Saito, coming into outer zone 1, a little bit conservative on that. Coming into outer zone 2, straightening up, huge correction there. That's going to affect him. But then with that correction right there and trying to kick back into it, it just affect everything afterwards.
Yeah, we definitely have to give him an incomplete for that one, because there were parts where it looked like he was gripping up a little bit too much, and the car was trying to correct. He tried to play it off a few times, and right there at the end, before the in-clip 1, he straightened out for sure. So I would have had to watch replay just to see if that was, it looked like he was steering a little bit more than where he would want it to be.
And then he looked like it flicked the wrong way too much.
But you know what? He has one more run. Looked like he was doing a great job during practice. So he has one more run, and hope he can get a solid score.
Yep, and it only takes one run right there to get you in the top 32. It's just a matter of being
Yeah,
the
man,
top
but
32
the
scores.
pressure, it's...
Hey, some people
Yeah, I think I
thrive
was like
off
that
of
too.
it.
Well, I didn't thrive off it, but I was in a situation where it's like, oh, car's broke. You can't practice. Just make one qualify run. It's like, really? Okay. And, you
Guess
try
I'll
to
do
everything,
it.
Yeah.
But as you can notice, we're right where the action happens, initiating, coming through. So you're probably not going to be hearing me too often coming through outer zone 1, but
Yeah, the car's facing us, and
exhaust is facing us, so
and
it's just...
you know, I just gotta say though, you know, I don't think there's any V8s in the series right now.
Nope.
I think, yeah. So
We have V6s.
yeah, but some of those V6s and the V6 turbos are pretty damn loud, and I'm just glad that the V8s aren't here because those are loud too, you know.
And we're pretty much right where the action happens.
I don't know how you drive those.
All right,
without
next
going deaf.
we have number 85, Daisuke Hara in the Team MJ style with action. Throwing down in his S15 2J powered. Whipping around, coming into outer zone 3. Kicking the cone all the way out into inside clip 1. Finishing off strong right there. I definitely felt some excitement through his run. I don't know if it's because of the exhaust action just hitting us.
No, I mean, we don't count speed, so the speed wouldn't even matter because we don't have a speed gun or anything. But yes, there's a lot more speed looking at it by eye, so maybe there's a little bit more excitement there. At the same time, he did make a few mistakes here and there that are really small. That doesn't make it as fluid.
Yeah. Initiating, not being able to fill the full outer zone 1.
Yeah, that's going to hurt him big because, like we were talking about earlier, the outside zone 1 has 10 points from the line judge, just that area, you know. So if you miss it by a lot, you know, that's definitely going to dock off a lot of points. So
see what? Oops, the judge has got a 74 right there. And right there, line judge with 19. But like you said, don't judge off speed, but man, he definitely threw some speed out there for this one. So next we have lined up is number 61, Kunihiko Teramachi in the Nichie Racing with Good Ride Motorsports. 2J powered S15 coming through right here. Initiating real early, coming through with full angle into outer zone 1. Nice, holding it through, coming in inside clip 1. Rolling into outside zone 2 to outside zone 3, fluid all the way through, and hugging the inside cone of outer zone 2. Wow, that was nice. I thought he was going to bail.
That's called commitment. He did make a mistake after or in between outside zone 1, going to inside clip 1 where he's not fluid because he had to do a lot of correction. Do angle there, then right here. A little bit of wavering, yeah, so it wasn't really a straightening, but then he was straining to get out of that situation right now, but I'm going to have to dock him points for that. But definitely a lot of commitment. Yep,
committed to that full angle he kicked through. Initiating before the 3 cone, so that's pretty impressive. That's a huge stretch to come through and drag it all the way to the inside clip 1.
Yeah, so there's so many ways of coming in hot and having to brake a lot, or coming in slower and not having to brake so much. But it looked like he was coming in hot and not braking so much too.
He just let it happen. The practice session definitely worked for him.
Yes.
He understood the track. He knew what he needed out of his car, and he made his car do what he wanted it to do.
Yeah, so if he could clean up that in-clip area and didn't have to, how can I say, adjust his car, and also at the first outer zone he wavered a little bit. If he could clean that up in the in-clip area, and it'd be pretty high style score right there.
It will. 85 right there.
And obviously he filled it. He filled all the lines. Had good enough angle throughout the whole run. So very nice run.
So next we have number 770 lined up. Yusuke Kusaba in the Cusco Racing A90 Supra. It's his new car this year. The first brand new Supra in Formula Drift Japan. Here he goes. See how much fire he's going to bring through here. Initiating a little bit halfway through, coming in, couldn't hit outer zone 1, but and missed inside clip 2, but coming through outer zone 2s and 3. So initially just missing the outer zone 1 is definitely going to affect him, but it kind of messed with everything else with the inside clip 1 and the rest of the track there.
Yeah, so I really have to say this, but it looks like a lot of the drivers are so worried about trying to drive fast. So it makes the car look twitchy. And right here too, he's trying to go into outside zone 3, not so sideways, you know. So I don't even know what the angle judge is going to give him.
And then he bailed out of it real early.
And at the same time, when you're not doing a hard flick from outside zone 2 to 3, because that should be a 90-degree turn to a 90-degree turn, and you should be able to go high angle to high angle. You know, the rate of the angle should be really high. So
76, he hit about the average zone that we have right now. A lot of room for improvement, but definitely needing to hit those zones. But yes, like you were saying, 2 to 3, that'll roll them right into that inside clip 2, which a lot of them are, you know, they're falling real deep inside of that.
Yeah, because
or outside of it.
Well, from what I'm sitting, or where I'm sitting right here, outside zone 2, the car is going through outside zone 2. I should be able to see both the headlights facing me, at least, you know, to run a high angle there and to do a hard flick going from outside zone 2 to 3. So
our next driver we have is number 555, Yukio Fausto, the Sideways Experience, S15 2J. Real exciting driver right here. He was throwing some smoke down for us earlier, but let's see what he's got for us. Coming through, coming in hot. Missed outer zone 1, but coming through inside clip 2, sweeping around to outside zone 2, whipping it back for outer zone 1, and still hugging around to hit inside clip 2. Like you were saying, you know, it seemed like he was focusing a lot on the speed and kind of missed that outside zone 2 completely.
Yeah, so definitely a bad run from him because he was committed at first, and over here, after this, he was dragging on the e-brake forever. He had to drag on the e-brake forever, and the car was wavering, not smooth. So yeah, he kind of threw it. I think he made a mistake.
His initial initiation.
Yeah, it didn't even look like he tried to even get near outside zone 1, which is going to hurt him for the line score as well. So definitely looks like he made a mistake somewhere coming down the line, and maybe he just kind of, I don't know, not give up, but, you know,
kind of affected the rest of his run.
Yeah.
Definitely threw down a run, you know, going to get points on the board, but expect a lot more out of him next time for sure. During practice, he was throwing down, almost did a reverse entry on one, but yes, a 63 right there. So pretty rough score to swallow, but we have another run for him, so plenty of room to build off of that. Next we have lined up is number 19, Yuichi Amagai with Perfect Style. Driving an S15, that's 2J powered. This is new car for this year. Real clean car. I love the color of it.
What is this color? Like olive green or military green? Or I don't even know.
Olive green's a little lighter, so. Oh, I like it though. Here he comes, coming in through. Ooh, throwing all the way into that angle, but is it? Ooh, and wasn't going to wash out. He committed completely to that. Holding on, coming to the outer zone 2, sweeping into outside zone 3. But coming in a little too hot for outside or inside clip 2.
Definitely committed.
Had me on the edge of my seat on that entry right there, because I thought he was going to bail and let it happen and lock the brakes up. But he definitely committed, throttled through, and brought it back into the track to make it throw down a run. There you go right there. Throttling through to hold him back in. Washed him out a little bit on outside or inside clip 1, but able to get the angle back and where he needed to be for the other 2 outer zones, but inside clip was washed out also, which probably affected from outer zone 2 and 3.
Yeah, so I think that run has potential to get a lot higher of a run if he did clean up the line and everything. But at the same time, as style-wise, he did have a lot of commitment, but at the same time, he had to let off a lot to put himself back on the line he wanted to be. And how can I say it? He was wavering here and there. But I do understand that in order to take a risk to do something that exciting, you would have to take a higher risk where if you do screw up a little bit, it's going to make the car look a lot more, how can I say it? The movement of the car more upset than normal. So
True, but committing to it is key right there.
Oh, yeah.
Coming in that hot and then committing to it and able to like full through isn't too bad right there. But an 80 isn't bad at all. Next, we have number 63, Yoshimi Mori in the Team Mori S15. That's 2J powered. Sweeping all the way around, coming into inside clip 1, real deep in inside clip 1. And then outer zone 2 and 3, not quite committed into those 2 zones, which definitely affected his inside clip 2. See what the replay has to show, but initial entry wasn't bad, but after that, it's just barely in some of these zones right here, which is going to affect much of his score. But he definitely had the entry coming in. It's just a matter of cleaning everything up and making it a complete package and getting what the judges want to see.
Yeah, so it was fluid enough and committed enough. Not at the highest level.
Line could have been definitely cleaned up. After outer zone 1, the rest of it was kind of a little off.
There you go.
There you go, 78.
Yeah, so like I said, you know, a lot of these drivers might be getting so into trying to make a fast entry, trying to drive through the track as fast as they can, but that's where the angle hurts you, and you make a lot of mistakes not being able to fill the zones. So
next we have lining up is number 963. It's going to be Daichi Mizutani. Driving with Mizutani Jirosa with Zeknova. Coming in with the S15. Screaming down the hill, coming through, initiating. Coming all the way into outer zone 1. Inside clip 2. Real outside out, inside clip 2, coming to outer zone 2 and 3, but not 100% in the box. And then cleaning it up with inside clip 1, just nudging the cone. See what the replay has for us. So you've noticed these drivers initiating different areas of that entry turn right there, and that really plays a huge part in how they're going to solidify outer zone 1 to then come into inside clip 1. Not a bad run at all, though.
yeah, so being smooth throughout the track and not making big mistakes by wavering and, you know, all that stuff, it should be very basic for these drivers. But doing it under a lot of commitment and under a lot of pressure is going to be really, really hard. So even if you don't make so many of those mistakes, if the commitment level is kind of low, obviously you're not going to make, you know, big wavering mistakes.
Here we go, 82.
But definitely looks like everybody's trying really hard at entry and try to jump into the, how can I say it? It doesn't look like they're flowing their speed on the straightaway all the way through outside zone 1. Looks like they're killing the speed once and trying to drive through.
And then braking.
Well, not braking, and it looks like they're, how can I say it? They're not braking enough so that the car kind of wavers and it looks like they're kind of washed out and they can't get right back on gas.
Okay.
You know, and come back in.
Next we have number 344, Hayato Miyoshi in the Team MJ style with action, R34. Braking a lot right there. And then, ooh. It's definitely rough coming through with that. Coming full speed, you know, throttling in, braking the whole time, and then just not committing to just give it the gas to make it kick where he wants it, or get the angle that he wants it to have.
Man, he just kind of threw it away, but it looked like the rear end kind of came right back in after this. It doesn't look like he was able to throw as much angle as he wanted to. Then right here, the car didn't want to wash out. He didn't want to do anything. He just kind of straightened out. So maybe there's something wrong with his car.
Could be.
I don't know. Yeah, but hopefully
definitely
he doesn't
gripped
do that.
up there and just straightened up on him.
Hopefully he doesn't do that for a second run because there's only one more left.
Fortunately, with an incomplete on that one. So we're obviously a little bit more than halfway through our first run of qualifying. But you see the overcast skies we got going on. But can't complain because the sun's not beaming down on me, so. It is nice seeing the sun, though. It did wake us up a little bit during that commercial break, so I'll give you that.
Yeah, it did.
Next we have coming up to the line is number 90, Shinji Minowa in the Heyman Power or TM Lambo JZX 100 Mark II, 2J powered. This is also another new car. Last year he was in what, a JZX 90, right?
Yeah, that car is actually in the U.S. right now, waiting to compete in the U.S. But you know, because of COVID, he is not going to be there for next weekend.
So this car is definitely pretty impressive. It's a pretty light car for being a big four-door, big-body car. Committing fully. Oh, coming all the way through outer zone 1, taking all of it. Inside clip 1, sweeping through to outer zone 2, and maximizing as much as he can to outer zone 3, but hugging the inside line of inside clip 2. Wow.
Wow, so that was pretty fluid. And
that was, and he maximized as much as he can to bozo. I mean, look at the cones. His trunk took them all out.
Here we go. Flick. It's an okay flick. Not the best, but everything after that right here, he gets on gas pretty good, fills the zones, actually hits the tires with the cones. But
definitely maximize every bit of that zone. He's been throwing solid runs throughout practice, but this was definitely the one that he filled every zone as much as he could. Maybe a little too much in some areas, but here you go. This is a good view. Got a nice drone view coming. Taking that whole line, maximizing every bit of outer zone 1. Wow.
Flicked back.
He used every bit of what he could and finished strong.
Yeah, so when you see when you see runs like that, you can kind of compare with other runs where it looks like there's a lot more going on to the car. It looks like, you know, they're getting back on gas.
But not only that,
earlier, a lot of commitment.
And the track makes sense.
Exactly.
When you put it all together, it tells you, okay, this is, wow, 89 right there.
So that's kind of how you would have to run the track, I guess.
Mm-hmm.
And you know, the whole coming up to the first outer zone with the speed, throwing the car sideways, and everything has to be pretty much perfect. It looked like he was slightly on his e-brake, a little bit too long on the outside zone 1, but definitely a pretty good score for
and
his
committing
first run.
to actually throttle through
Yes.
and push it, and not just locking it up the whole time. So next we have number 5, Tomoki Tanaka in V-Style with Tetsuji GR. JZX 100 Chaser right here. Nice initiation coming through with the 2J. Throttling all the way through. But is it going to be too much for inside? Nope. Able to hold up inside clip 2.
Okay.
Got a little nervous there because when he flicked from outer zone 2 to 3, I didn't know if it was going to be enough for inside clip 2. But here we go on the replay.
Yeah, so the big difference he has is right here. The initiation is kind of not as exciting, not as dynamic. It should be flicked. They should flick their car sideways. So the rate to angle from going to straight, and also the small wavering here and there through outside zone 2 to 3. Not as fluid as he should be.
But the key thing is maximizing the space from cone to cone. And it wasn't a lot happening on the first zone.
Yeah, and it looked like he was leaving. I think it all comes from, you know, leaving the outside zone 1. It looked like by watching the replay, it looks like he was leaving outside zone 1 way too early, where it doesn't make a clean arc
Coming
around inside
clip.
clip 1. So
Okay.
it's going to point you the wrong direction. Then that leaving inside clip is going to actually point you the wrong direction going to outside zone 2. So it's like a bad chain reaction happening at the same time, which is going to actually take down the score from all the
77 isn't,
areas.
you know, too bad, but like you were saying, connecting it from the beginning to end is what it comes down to. And from the start, it kind of threw his angle or his line off, which messed up the rest of it. Trying to catch it at 2 and 3, outer zones 2 and 3, but just not making it enough to get what he wanted. Next is going to be 888 Kenji Yamada in the Nago Techno and Larada Company, also known as Jamaken, rolling around in the SR powered S15, coming through in the outer zone 3, and then inside clip 1, 2 and 3. Rolling from 2 to 3 to inside clip 2 was definitely a solid right there. But let's see what the replay shows.
There's definitely a lot of commitment going in from the straight after he passes the initiation zone, but going into or looking at the rate to angle from the, there's not really a big flick.
Right here.
No, for the initiation.
Oh, okay.
So he kind of drove into it with a little bit of angle, but definitely a lot of commitment throughout the whole track. He looked like he was, giving everything he has, all the power from the car.
Definitely wasn't bad at all, though. See what the judges have to say.
Yeah, he was pretty much on gas all the way through to outside zone 1. Very minimal speed, or very minimal decel. Like, he didn't have to get back. He didn't have to, make the car brake hard, or try to accelerate again and stuff. Well,
coming some, because the biggest thing from, there you go, 89. Wow.
He got almost a full score for line. So here's the key: if you do well, how can I say? If you fill the zones and the clips and have good enough angle and an okay style point, you're gonna get fairly good score for qualify. So
that right there ties our highest score with Shinji Minowa also. So next we have number 38, Tadahiro Fukada in the
tallest.
Tanabe. Oh yeah, go ahead. Tanabe SSR Team Dunlop in the JZX 100 Mark II 2J Power Build. What were you saying again?
The tallest driver in FD Japan.
He is, and he's also a veteran from day one being here. Committing, throttling all the way through, coming to inside clip 1. Kind of dumped out of that, coming through outer zone 2 or 3, and then coming to inside clip 2. But definitely his angle coming into inside clip 1 was affected there and kind of washed him out a little, which he had to fix himself to get into outside zone 2.
Yeah, and I mean, he's speed-wise, it looks like he's trying to go fast, but at the same time, he's not. How can I say it? The flick, the car movement right here, coming from outside zone 2 to 3, right here, definitely.
It was lagging, yeah.
It's very laggy and not snappy. That's going to hurt him for the commitment side of it as well.
Definitely seemed better from him, but like you were saying, going from 2 to 3, having that huge flick is definitely going to affect your finish.
And like we went over, many of the other drivers that previously drove already, after they leave outside zone 1, going to inside clip 1, they should be able to, how can I say, adjust their speed as they approach outside zone 1. So they shouldn't have to slow down and have to speed up again afterwards. So.
But as you guys can all see, 82, not a bad run at all. You could see coming in from the stretch into outer zone 1 to inside clip 2, definitely they slow down with the amount of angle they have and then that sharp clipping point. But at the same time, being able to commit through it and throttle through the whole entire process of it. Next we have lined up is number 13, Yasuhiro Takaki in the T square with DGR Good Ride. And he's in the Origin Lambo T square 180SX SR powered. See what he's going to throw down here. Sun shining down, kicking it around, sweeping in a real coming into inside clip 1, outer zone 2, trying to get that angle, flicking it, not as hard as he should have flicked it, which is going to definitely affect his outside zone or inside clip 2. But initiating into outer zone 1 was definitely real shallow and could have been a lot deeper. Here comes the replay.
Yeah, so
initiation right here.
I think when I start talking about just the style side of it, it looks like one car does a tremendous job, and after that everybody kind of, how can I say it, isn't as committed, isn't as fluid. Like this run, it looked like he was wavering a little bit at outside zone 2, but at the same time I think he was struggling because the way he was going into inside, or going towards inside clip 1, he had to sit there and kind of play with accelerating and decelerating, and wasn't committed as early enough where he can just kind of get on gas, keep the angle going, drive through outside zone 2. He had to kind of pace himself and drive himself up to outside zone 2, which creates the car to be not as fluid and not as committed.
77 for the score. Yeah, that initial initiation in the outer zone 1 was a little shallow, which definitely affected his line for inside clip 1. And then, like you were saying, which definitely makes that non-fluidity into outer zone 2. Next, we have number 14, Tomohiro Murayama in the Buy Now Japan with Dunlop S14 SR powered.
Yeah, it looks like we're in the similar points area. Well, looking at my style scores and also the scores that are coming in, everybody's bunched up.
Coming in full through, hold it through, come on, let's get it. Definitely had to brake a little bit there, but throttled through, coming out of there to outer zone 3 into inside clip 2, but definitely was trying to throw down on that initiation.
So going back to commitment level and trying to throw a lot of angle right here, the initiation area of it, he's kind of doing try to gain more angle because it didn't look like he threw enough angle when he first threw the car. And leaving outside zone 2, he looked like he was trying to leave it as soon as possible, but the transition in between those looked like he had a hard flick. So
and then it's probably going to be affected with his line because he wasn't fully committed in those zones and was real shallow in those zones.
Yeah, so what I would have to watch is we don't want to see cars, gaining angle and taking out angle. We want to see one clean swap or sweep where you commit to it. You throw the angle and you keep it that angle and you drive around the turn, the zones,
throttling all the way through.
Exactly. Get on gas as long as possible, driving through the areas. So
there we go. Got a 75 for that run. And that's the thing. At this stage, keeping that commitment level with throttling through and not feathering it, with hesitation is definitely going to make the difference. So next we got lined up is 666. Shuichi Mano in the Chari Boy style S13 1 Vea 2J powered. He definitely did an amazing job at Okuibuki, so we're expecting a lot out of him here this round. Initiation coming all the way through, barely skimming outside zone 1, slowing down a lot to try to get inside clip 1, which affects his outer zone 2 and the rest right there. Definitely was shallow in every one of the zones, and like you said, if you don't get it from the start, it's going to definitely affect you throughout the pace of the track.
Yeah, so I mean, he was going as fast as he can, I think, but it looked like he couldn't throw a hard, the rate to angle wasn't good enough. It looked like he was washing out over here. He had to wait for the car to settle. Definitely after that, it looks like he was shallow through here. He had to pull the e-brake over here for the outside zone 3 as well. I would say as a style point, probably not going to be one of the best that we've seen today.
Yeah, wasn't 100% committed to his run, but he did throw down some pretty good runs during practice. So
yeah, like I said, he's
it only takes one good run. So,
yep.
But it is nice coming into the second round, being able to throw everything you got at it with no risk.
Yes.
70, there you go.
Yeah, he missed a lot of the zones in the clips, it looks like. So.
Yep, his line right there wasn't the best. Good chunk taken off right there. All right, next we have number 84, Masakazu Hashi in the Pieceworks RDS Racing Valino S15 SR powered. Got a little bit of GoPro action on top. Swinging it around, coming into outer zone 1, but missing it completely, and then coming to, which affects his inside clip 1 and his outer zone 2. Trying to make up for it right here and clean up the lines, but just a little wild on that one. That was a pretty wild run, all over the place. Let's see.
Yes, it was very exciting, but he did make a lot of mistakes here and there. It looked like he was washing out on outside or inside clip 1 area. Right here, he looks like he left outside zone 1 very early, washed out over here, so it makes him a wonky line coming from outside zone 2 to outside zone 3. And he had to fill those zones, and there you go, another wavering there. So definitely not his best and not the cleanest run he's had probably today, but he will have a score.
Score will happen. All over the place on that one.
Yeah, but it takes a lot of concentration, being under pressure and having to, do stuff, do the right stuff,
Especially after 6 hours of, practice, depending on how many times they went out there and everything. After a while you're like, okay, I got this. But then when it comes down to throwing it down,
Yeah, and it also goes to, some of the drivers. Maybe they didn't put down as fluid runs as they probably thought they would.
True.
And maybe it makes them more nervous where things like, oh, I didn't get to do it at practice.
And then utilizing their spotters and their spotters telling them what they need to improve on and all that and putting it all down into a qualifying run. Next, we have number 33, Junya Ishikawa and the Hiroshima Toyota team. Nice. And the Team Droopy 861GR V6 twin turbo power, but it seems like he's just throttle issues right there, just coming through.
Cheat there.
Let's see this replay. There's a lot going on this run.
Yeah, we have to look closely. He made 2 major mistakes where it looked like the car did not want to keep drifting right here.
Right there.
Straighten up. It looked like he was pretty straight, and there's another one right here.
There.
He could not make his way around. Yeah.
See what the judges have to say. It might be an incomplete on this one. Definitely has a lot of throttle issues there, like it was gripping up and the car didn't want to just keep breaking loose. So that'll definitely affect his overall.
Yeah, so it looked like he had 2 major corrections, and it looked like he had to steer the other way to keep the car going. So it was almost like a reinitiate after the inside clip 1. And also it looked like he was like 3 tires off on the inside clip 2 area as well.
That's a tough one to swallow on that run.
Yeah, so we're not going to have to give him a score this time, but he does have the second run.
He does.
Hopefully the team could sort out whatever problem it is that's happening to his car.
Next we have number 8, Koichi Yamashita in the Team Weld JZX 100 Mark II 2J powered, screaming down the stretch, initiating at about the 2 code, swinging through, committing all the way through, throttling it in. Had a little lag in the brake, but still hitting inside zone 1. outside clip 2 and outside clip 3, taking full advantage of it, and then also inside clip 2. Definitely nice run on that one. Came into outer zone 1, committed, had a little bit of e-brake, but still throttled straight through to get to inside clip 1. See this replay. Blocked up a little bit right there to correct himself, and then came through, maximizing inside clip 1.
He was on the line on the rear tire too, so definitely exciting run.
Here you go. This is a good angle right here with the drone footage.
And look at, as you can see, the pace of the car doesn't change so much. Where he comes in hot, he pretty much pushes the car through the whole track, you know, at a good rate. So it doesn't look like the car is getting any slower or slowing down. They have a very good pace at keeping the car going in drift motion. So definitely a nice run.
Should be a good score here. Let's see what the judges have for him. Still letting this track clear up from all the smoke he was throwing down. Got an 89. I'm still waiting for this, you know, this 90 break.
Yeah. So as of style points, there were just a couple of issues where he was yanking the e-brake here and there.
Especially in outer zone 1,
where
yes.
he didn't have to. If he would have stayed committed, definitely would have gotten a higher score for the style. But that's good enough. I mean, he got 89 points. He's tied leading score.
So next we have number 99, Kazuya Matsukawa in the 8.5 Hiroshima Toyota Team Droopy, 1GR powered, full initiation, committing completely to that, but trying to get his throttle under control to outer zone 2 to the outer zone 3, and then washing out a little bit on inside clip 2.
Yeah, so there's a lot going on right now, but the rate of angle going from straight to initiation right here, he had to do like a two-step to gain angle. Misses outside or inside clip 1. Slightly washed out over here, but he plays it off. But right here again, he had to yank on the e-brake a few times there to keep his car settled.
Which messed up there.
So I would say it's not the most fluid run he's done.
But it's, you know, if you don't remember from round 2 at Okuibuki, that was the one that actually hit the wall in the front right side of the vehicle. So definitely good to see him out here and the car running real strong. Let's see what the judges have to say with the corrections and everything that happened. 82. Not bad at all. 82 on that one. So next we have coming to the line is going to be number 125. Yoshichika Tamagawa in the Car Guy Racing JZA80 Supra.
Man, this is a crazy story. I was talking to him earlier, and I was like, man, JZA80s are, you know,
pretty expensive
these days.
Expensive
cars, and he got this car for free a while back when it was still not worth much.
Wow.
So
coming in, full initiation at cone 2 coming in outer zone 1. Trying to hold it together in inside clip 1, sweeping around to outside zone 2, but not being able to hit outer zone 2, but still coming through to outer zone 2 to inside clip 2, or outer zone 3 to inside clip 2. But outer zone 2 was a big no-no for him on that one. Let's see the replay. From our angle, it looked like he didn't get much of outer zone 2 at all, but let's see what the replay shows. Right in outer zone 1, coming to inside clip 1, not bad at all, but then right here, yep, he didn't even get it.
That zone a lot.
Completely. Got himself back together in outer zone 3 and then inside clip 2, collected himself, but that outer zone 2 is going to definitely affect him.
Now I also got to say that, you know, because of that weird line that he took, it affected his style score as well. His approach from outside zone 1 and going all the way to outside zone 2, that area, the line was a little weird. He was washed out too. so he couldn't get back on gas as fast or as early as he was probably thinking. So that actually affected a little bit of his style score as well.
So we got an 81 on that one.
But you know, you're in the 80s right now. You're definitely safe.
You are.
For qualifying. So obviously you want to make it up to a higher qualifying point. Everybody's probably gunning for getting first place in qualifying, but at the same time, you just got to make sure that you got to make it in for tomorrow's, you know, main day.
Top 32. That's true. So next we have number 17 coming to the line. Jin Horino with Good Ride Team Tops racing with Project Mu. It's going to be Tops' S15, 2J powered. This is a veteran driver right here. He actually took 3rd place at Okubuki. So expecting some good stuff.
Yeah, his practice runs look pretty
solid,
nice too. Yeah, so we'll see how he's going to do for qualifying.
Here he goes. Got the green light coming in. Early entry coming into outer zone 1. Could have got a little bit more into outer zone 1. Inside clip 2 just washed out of inside clip 2, but which is going to affect his line for outer zones 2 and 3. And then inside clip 2 just took just the wrong angle coming at it and just taking it out. Maybe
it looked really good all the way to outside zone 1.
But then after that, coming out of outer
here,
inside clip.
Nice flick. Kind of feels outside the one, but there's a
correction
slight
right
correction
there.
Then his line goes weird.
Messed up that.
And yeah,
coming
definitely.
into there. Can't stress enough. You mess one zone up, it's definitely going to affect other areas of the track. Well, let's see what the judges have to say about that run. Maybe I spoke too soon here. Maybe I added too much pressure on that one.
Hey, getting a score on the scoreboard is definitely
a plus.
Number one goal for everybody. But obviously, you know, some of the guys have higher hopes.
Oh, 79. Why are you dancing for over there?
Well, we got 4 more cars. And
these are some very highlighting cars here. Next coming up is number 73, Kazuki Hayashi in the Team West Auto with Good Ride S15, 2J powered. This is his first year with this new team, and he actually took 2nd place at Okubuki.
Yeah, that was great driving from him in Okubuki.
See an early initiation right there. Throttling through, committing to that early initiation, coming to inside clip 1. Little washed out on inside clip 1, but outer zone 2 came back, and then coming through outer zone 3 to inside clip 2. Not bad at all. Committed himself to that early entry right there and just punched it all the way through. But lost a little bit on the inside clip 1. But let's see this replay right here.
Yeah, if he can clean up a little bit of, how can I say it, his decel right in this area, then definitely probably get a higher score overall so he could be on the right line.
Yeah, maybe if he throttled a little bit more into it, pushing him closer to that cone, it probably would have helped. But no telling on that angle.
Yeah, because everybody keeps forgetting that throwing big angle for outside zone 1, keeping that momentum going, so the car is getting pushed out to the inside.
Or outer part of inside clip 1.
Yeah, exactly, but you're throttling the car, so the car is trying to come back.
Yeah, it's going to push you back in, exactly.
Using that motion and angle, driving through that inside clip should actually put you on the perfect line going to outside zone 2. So a lot of the guys are probably either coming in too hot or, you know, braking a little bit or decelerating a little bit too much right around or right after outside zone 1, which kind of puts them in a wrong line. And that's going to actually affect not just the line judge, but
style and everything else.
Exactly, what the car is trying to do to dig themselves out of that situation. I have to check too. So
But it also, you know, committing to that is a huge thing because you got a giant wall right there and you're running out of track. So you have to focus and try to get your car where you want it to be.
Exactly, because you know one of the cars earlier they were driving right on the line on the outside where the dirt is, and you know once you hit dirt, you know you're not going to stop.
Next is number 100, Andrew Gray, Team Kazama with Power Vehicles. There he goes into inside clip 1, committing to it, getting full advantage of inside clip 1, hitting outside zone 2 and 3, and sweeping around to inside clip 2. And I don't even have to say the vehicle there. He's got the one-of-a-kind vehicle. 2J-powered Lexus RC. He actually took first place at Okubuki, which was the last event, round 2. And right now he's currently 3rd overall points with 141. So not a bad run out of him right there.
Yeah, very fluid run. How can I say it? There was no, how can I say it? It doesn't look like, how can I say it? The fluidity was very nice on this run, but it doesn't look like the commitment. I mean, it was high, obviously, compared to a lot of the other cars too, but definitely a smooth, very basic run where
the line was nice too.
Yeah, so I think Andy does that all the time where he doesn't throw the car like crazy and he doesn't push it to the limit from the beginning, but he kind of gradually ups it, but he's always on line and runs just enough angle where he does a whole good, how can I say, the addition of his scores is really good where he gets a high score per judged area, which puts him in a pretty good position.
So he plays it smart and maximizes all the areas that he can. Not maximizes, but plays it safe and hits all the areas that he's getting judged on.
Exactly.
And that's, I mean, you saw the run. It was really clean. There was no complaints, and it had nice fluidity. 89 right there. We just can't break that 90.
Yeah, like look at his line score is 29 points. So he pretty much missed only one area, or missed a little bit in one area. The rest of it was perfect. So
wow, there he is coming off track right now. Real clean car though. So next we have lined up is number 36, Kazumi Takahashi in the TMS Racing Team BMW E92, powered by a 1GR V6 twin turbo.
One of a kind car. I've never really seen this car compete in Japan.
He's 2nd overall right now with points at 151 points. Coming in, early initiation. Committing to that initiation, a little shallow inside it. Outer zone 1 and inside clip 2 getting a little correction there.
There you go.
But fulfilling 2 and 3 and hitting inside clip 2. So yes, with that little bit of correction he made at the inside clip 1, it definitely solidified the rest of that half of the track. But that first initiation, you know, definitely is what's going to ding him a little bit.
Oh yeah, he threw it kind of away right after this where he gets closer to the inside clip 1. Well, he kind of misses outside zone 1.
Yeah. That's the biggest thing right there, yeah. But then right here, he just maximizes everything he could. You know, could have got more of outside zone 3, but didn't want to push it too hard to miss inside clip 2. But overall, you know, like I said, he's our overall 2nd points lead with 151.
Yeah, so he looks like he was the first half of the track he didn't do so well. He tried to gain it from the second half of the track.
But the second half,
yeah, the second half of the track was amazing. So just imagine if he did a better job leaving out, or you know, filling outside zone 1 and going inside clip 1. Definitely going to be a higher score than that. So
we got an 82 for him on that one. And our last one for the running through this first set is gonna be number 15. It's Katsuhiro Ueo, sponsored by Valino. It's S15 VR38 powered. Right now, he is our overall points leader with 153 points. So between 1st, 2nd, and 3rd, you got 153, 151, and 141. So between 1st and 2nd, it's pretty close. They're neck and neck. And he's been doing a pretty solid job. See what he's going to throw down. I remember during practice at the Okubuki event, he lost track of he lost contact with the track because of all the smoke he was throwing down. Here he comes, coming in. It's a nice angle, committing to it. But definitely slowed down there, but coming to outer zone 2 to outer zone 3, pushing it to its limits. Definitely throttle controlled himself out of inside clip 1 there. Let's see what he's got right here. Coming in, initiating real early, swinging around to outer zone 1, to maximizing as much as he can at outer zone 1, and then hitting inside clip 1, swinging back around, and just taking all the cones out in the process. But overall, just an exciting driver. He's been doing this all day for practice the last 6 hours, so here we go. We got a little bit of drone footage of his angle. Coming in, you could see the line that he was taking, just riding that outside line completely. And then hitting that inside zone. Then maximizing outer zone 2 or 3 to inside clip 1 or 2. See what the judges have to say. Let's see if you can break this 90. Nope, 87. Threw down 87, which is not bad. Like we were talking about, if you're in the 80s, you're pretty much set for top 32, which means you could come out and just risk it and give it your all and see if you can get in that 90 range. So that right there was 42 drivers pushing through to qualifying, and we're about to go ahead and start second round of qualifying here soon. They're all lined up, getting their cars ready, but track's still doing its thing. But yes, we'll go to commercial right now, so we'll see you back in a minute. Part of it to see what they're going to run for their second run.
Yeah, so the 42 drivers were able to finish their first runs. There were some high scores, there were some low scores. But they seem like they're bunched up. There's like 3 different types where the initiation wasn't so exciting, then they make a mistake. They make a mistake somewhere through the track. Second one is exciting initiation, but they make a mistake somewhere throughout the track. And the third type is great initiation, hardly no mistakes, but small things here and there being picky. So second run.
Let's go ahead and start off. Number 707, Hideo Hiraoka in the Lead Racing RX-7 FD. Getting into outer zone 1, but swinging around to inside clip 1. Had a little correction right there, trying to hold that speed through, which definitely affected outer zones 2, 3, and inside clip 2. So 74 is what he ran last time, and I don't know.
Yeah, so I would say there was a long e-brake pull going into his initiation. Then after this too. Getting back on gas, not so much right here. The flick wasn't really hard. The rate to angle wasn't so much, so it looked like he was going from shallow to shallow. Not super exciting.
Yeah.
But he was able to put down a clean run.
And he threw a 74, so we'll see if there's improvement there. Because 74 is not guarantee you in the top 32 for sure. See what the judges have to say here.
Yeah, but I think this is the first time he's competing at FD Japan. So, there's so many different competitions in Japan.
There you go, 78.
Yeah.
So better than the first run for sure.
So there's a couple of different competitions in Japan, and they have different types of styles. And this is the first time he's challenging FD Japan, and we have a different style of judging. So maybe it takes some adjustment for him.
Next, we have number 283, Tsubasa Takizawa in the Zeknova Japan JZX 100 Mark II. Initiating at about the 1 cone, coming in through to outer zone 1. Could have maximized a little bit more out of outer zone 1, but hitting inside clip 1 completely. Swinging around, had a little correction there. Trying to accelerate through. Finishing off inside clip 2. Pretty good in that zone, but definitely coming from inside clip 1, definitely you could see the acceleration that he was trying to gain, but was struggling.
Yeah, but I would have to say that it was very fluid. It was very smooth. He didn't really do anything choppy. The car, like, just right about there on outside zone 2, but definitely looked like he was very smooth throughout the track. But I'm saying smooth at a level where it's not committed super high. So I'm obviously,
like his angle wasn't extreme. Oh, there you go, 82, which is way better than his first run of a 65. That is a huge increase for him, which is awesome to see. And like you were saying, it had that right fluidity where he didn't make huge corrections, but he could have made it a little bit better.
Yeah, he looked like he maxed out what he can do with that car. So definitely, instead of trying to do something crazy and outrageous with, lacking power and, whatever seat time, he just went with, driving it smoothly, trying to hit the lines and the zones as much as possible, and, keeping as much angle he can, and he got, got into the 80s, so that's good for him.
Is a good point. So next is number 77, Koji Kitagawa in the Lead Racing FD3 RX-7. He actually got it incomplete the first time from his initiation. So let's see what he's going to initiate right here. Coming through, little e-brake action.
No.
Oh, correcting into the outer zone, which is definitely going to affect him, and then straightening completely out. Like we were talking about earlier, it is tough coming through, missing, rounds 1 and 2, trying to come halfway through we're at the apex of the series right now. So coming in and just not having that seat time and everything with the environment that they're in here.
Yeah, well, this is his round 1 for him. So not a result we wanted to see. Definitely wanted to see what he can put down for us. But unfortunate that he got 2 incompletes. So hopefully next round in Okayama.
Okayama is the next round, yes.
That's a big track, that's a big high-speed track. But definitely want to see what he can put down at Okayama.
If you didn't notice, the FD3 RX-7s, those are actually teammates. So
FD3S? FD?
Didn't say FD3?
No. You just say FD.
Who doesn't?
You're like, I don't know about rotaries.
That's true.
You call it an FD. 3.
Also known as an FD. RX-7 FD.
Yeah. Here you go.
But here you go, number 55, Toshiharu Kazama in the Team Kazama Power Vehicles JGX100 Chaser. Coming in with a lot of e-brake action there in the outer zone 1 and trying to get it together, just something happened there. Couldn't find the gear. So the car just wasn't doing what he wanted it to do.
Yeah, it looked like he had a really, really late initiation. He had to pass the 3-2-1 cones. Number 1, that was already bad. But number 2, after he was trying to pick himself up, after in clip 1, it looked like he couldn't find the gear or it was in neutral or something.
The car just, he wanted to do something and didn't want to do what he wanted it to do. So
yeah,
at the end of the day, he scored a 64 on his initial run. I'm hoping that'll be enough for him, but
there are a lot of close scores.
There
are a lot of guys in the 70s, so that might be a little hard, but we'll see.
We'll see.
But yeah, I know a lot of these drivers have that where the car doesn't want to communicate with the driver, and that's the driver's worst nightmare.
It is, especially when you miss a gear and then all of a sudden, boom, you have no power, and you're just like, what do I do?
Yeah, and I think this is one of the toughest motorsports they have out there because think about, making a run. It's only like 20, 30 seconds long, and you make one mistake, and it's just all out,
thrown out the window.
Exactly.
So you could be practicing for 6 hours straight, come in, and then two runs that are
later,
30
you're
seconds.
going home, and
Yeah.
it's really tough.
So next up is number 130, Saori Iwasaki in the 5X tire with garage LFW Nadi S15. Nice initiation coming through, but really way away from outer zone 1 and just I don't want to see that because unfortunately she had an incomplete for the first run. Yeah, and I liked her motivation to come through with that crazy, angle she was trying to throw.
That was a nice flick she did at initiation, but she had to go definitely a little bit deeper. And, she had spun out inside of the inside clip. But this is one of the drivers that was sitting on an incomplete. Definitely wanted to put a score down, but
could have played it a little safe, but, she was just trying to throw it all out there. So
yeah, but you know what? That's
at this level,
people,
that's what it takes.
Yeah, exactly. It's like I don't think it's a walk in the park for anybody to be able to go, come to qualify and make, put down a good score. So good job.
But
For her trying, yeah,
two
see her
incompletes
next
is,
time,
yeah.
yep.
Next we have lined up is number 22, Atsushi Wachi, with the Professor Auto Service S15. Little out of outside zone 1, but coming to inside clip 1 and shallowing out and straightening out a little bit there, but keeping the angle and then hitting inside clip 2.
Yeah,
So from the start to finish, it was just a little... I saw the excitement coming into it, but it just couldn't commit with the line throughout the track.
Well, he definitely wanted to come in committed right here.
But then
nice
washed
flick,
out.
but after that, washed out. I think he had to...
Straighten up a little there,
Yeah, there you go.
and it just messed everything up after that. So see, that's the thing, like we were talking about earlier, the last round was, you know, once you initially mess it up and your line's all messed up, it messes up the rest that come after it. Whether it's the inside clips or outer zones, it all plays in part. And you need to connect them all to make it a complete, solid, fluid run.
Yeah, you can't just do one thing and be okay with it. You definitely have to, you know, finish off the track and do
The challenges,
above
yeah,
average throughout the whole track. So
the challenges are there where, you know, you have to be able to connect them all, not just say I can do the first half good and make up for the rest. So 71, not bad. Dropped a little bit. 77 was
we had 77 earlier.
yeah. So sticking with the 77 on that one. Next is number 41, Shinichi Uemura in the Team Hirano tire. Uemura Sangyo IAS JZX 100 Chaser. Coming in, breaking a little there on the outside zone 1 to try to get it, and then completely correcting right there. Trying to find the right gear coming from outer zone or inside clip 1 to outer zone 2. Just couldn't find that right gearing to get the power to keep going.
Yeah, I don't know if he was in the wrong gear or if he just didn't have his RPM up.
Right there, initiating was like a double flick almost.
Yeah, maybe he had to go down a gear and maybe didn't go into gear. I'm not sure. But yeah, that was not something we were looking for. Definitely not a
Incomplete on that,
score, yeah,
with a
it's
65 on the first one. I mean,
gonna be
during
really
practice, we did have a scare with him at practice because he actually went up the embankment, and I thought he damaged the car pretty bad. But, I mean, was still able to come back out here and push out some runs, so not bad.
Yeah, so definitely going to be harder for him to make it into tomorrow, but we'll see how the scores are going to play out for him.
Next coming up to the line is number 168, Masaya Minoa with Heyman TM Lambo, JZX 100 Chaser.
Lambo?
That's why I have you here.
Earlier
That's why I have
you said
you here.
Lambo, and I'm like, who's got a Lambo?
That's
I
why
don't see no Lambo.
That's why I have you here to, you know, keep me in check. Call me out.
That's what everybody's
See,
supposed to be.
Nobody would have known. Nobody would have known.
Everybody could correct you online.
There you go. But nobody would have known. They would have been like,
advice.
sure.
Yeah. So yeah, she's sitting on a 78-point run, which is fairly well for her.
Coming in. Ooh, initiated a little late after, but coming through into inside clip 1, hitting nice inside clip 1, but losing the power from that angle coming in inside 1. Rolling into inside clip 2, a little deep, but can't stress it enough. When you mess one angle up, it's just going to play. It's the domino effect.
Yeah, very, very fluid. Like I said earlier with another driver, very smooth. She's not making, you know, huge mistakes here and there.
No
it looks
crazy
like the car is very
straightening,
loose. Yeah, but not so much commitment, obviously, because, you know, it's not like she's throwing a lot of angle and using the angle and
maximizing the areas
the
that's
gas
intended.
Slow the car down. In the flick, the transition from outside zone 2 to 3 wasn't really hard either, but definitely going to put down a score.
Which 78 for initial score isn't 100% bad. So I mean, let's see what she has for this second run.
Oh,
Ooh, 80 right there. Definitely an improvement from the 78. But like, I guess like you said, I mean, it had the fluidity, just not maximize the
It's not
angle.
fully commitment,
Yeah.
but very smooth.
No crazy corrections.
Exactly.
Next, we have number 35, Takahiro Morozumi in the DG5 S15 SR powered. A lot of e-brake action going on right there. Couldn't fully commit to outer zone 1. Trying to get the rest. Ooh, and then straightening right there. That is not what you want. I'm not sure what happened there. It looked like he was doing fine, but I think either he realized from inside clip 1 to outer zone 2, he had too much to gain, and he was just like, oh, got to straighten up just a little to get that speed.
Yeah, and honestly, when drivers make mistakes, I'm not even sure if it's the driver making the mistake or the car, or something happening to the car. But, it's really hard to be able to communicate with the car and make sure that the car is at the right RPM to be able to, engage the clutch so the car will keep the tires spinning and this and that. It's just a lot of stuff going on in the car because you got the e-brake, got clutch pedal, brake pedal, gas pedal, then
and you got to be in the right gear.
Yeah, it's a lot of stuff going on in the car, so you got to give, these guys are trying their best
and they're not,
to keep their car sideways.
And they're not running no slim tires out here for sure. So
they're all
going to
running
grip and
like
go.
beefy tires.
Yeah, so rough thing. So 76 is what he's going to have to hold off on that, and hopefully it'll push him forward. Next at the line, we have number 408, Shoya Saito in the Car Guy Racing S15. This is our whole chain of SR S15s coming up. So
nice.
See who can throw down the best out of them. Coming through, initiating real early there, e-braking, committing to it, but not quite at the zone. Oh, holding it through. Not what you want to see, but definitely, ooh, and then right there, something with the vehicle. But definitely thinking he was going to wash out, but being able to hold it through. Yes, he lost all his angle coming in out of outer zone or inside clip 1 to outer zone 2, but still, it puts you on the edge of your seat to see that kind of work out of your car and the driver.
Yeah, he came in pretty hot. It was a lot better than what he did earlier coming into outside zone 1. And like you said, it was just definitely not working out for him this time.
Yeah, I saw his car do that a few times during the practice run. I'm not sure what happened. I didn't go find out, but yeah, his car was doing a little bit of that during the practice session.
Yeah, I mean, the car trouble stuff I've had so many of those in the past too, but man, it just sucks because you have high hopes, you're here, and the car doesn't work out. But
he threw a 78, so
yeah,
get the car figured out and he'll be good to go, hopefully. Next is going to be number 53, Mitsunori Yoshimura in the Team Mori S15. It's his rookie year here at Formula Drift Japan. Coming in, real shallow in outer zone 1, but committing to it, cleaning it up, coming into outer zone 2, flicking it, ooh, held the flick back a little bit, hit outer zone 3 into inside clip 2. I was really anticipating a hard flick after that outer zone 2 for some reason because he had the nice angle for that nice flick.
Yeah, so if he would have done that, that would have actually helped him out a lot more on the style score too. But that's where you could tell where it's like the high energy run when you're going like high rate of angle to high rate of angle, like right here. There you go. Like if it was more of a harder flick, it would have helped out a little bit more on the style score.
But overall, he had a complete run. It was a little shallow in outer zone 1 on the initial initiation, but after that, he kind of cleaned it up, got to inside clip 1 as close as he could, which lined him up for outer zone 2 and 3. But like you were saying, if he could have just gave it a little bit more style and flair with the flick and angle, could have changed a little bit. But he scored a 77 initially, so let's see what the judges are giving him. Another 77.
Yeah.
So he's being consistent. Consistency is good, especially when it comes to tandem.
Yeah, and there's a lot of things that us judges look forward to, on a run, and definitely the style part is very hard to judge because it is preference as well. But I have to chase down mistakes here and there. Oh, go ahead.
Next is number 9, Harutomo Kaminishi in the Team Diva S15, swinging it around to outer zone 2 to hit outer zone 3. getting a good grip on that, but then not being able to just squeeze it through for inside clip 2.
Yeah, so same as some of the cars earlier.
So initially, you know, he scored a 73. His run seemed almost identical to his like initial first run. He was in and out of the zones, and
yeah, so
there you go right here. Outer zone 3 maximized it, but then inside clip 2, it's just too much heat coming in and not enough angle.
Yeah, so not enough angle, which means the car wants to go forward. And that means that you can't get back on gas as early as possible. So
this is a huge improvement. A 73 initially and then scoring an 82.
Yeah, but look at his line score. He got a 37 on that. So I'm pretty sure that the last run he made, his line score was probably a lot lower.
So I stand corrected. It wasn't like his first run.
Oh, no. I mean, I think the excitement level.
Oh, okay.
Like
that's
that.
probably
yeah,
what
course,
it is then, yeah.
Because I actually gave him pretty much the same score style. So
okay.
He gained score in line, too, so.
Next, we have number 87 at the line, Yukiko Ishiguro with the Real Style Reality S15. Another female driver right here. Let's see what she has. Scored a 71 initially on her first run. Bringing it all the way into outer zone 1. Swinging around to outer zone 2, straightening a little bit, losing a little bit of angle, rolling into outer zone 3 to inside clip 1. Real shallow in the zones, but you know, besides the correction at outer zone 2, that was probably the big one where it kind of straightened up a little bit, lost a little angle there. But let's see what this replay right here. Definitely took a different approach than every car. She kind of was further, she was on the other side of the track coming in.
Yeah, so she was very fluid. It didn't look like, you know, didn't look like she made major mistakes other than the outside zone 2. She had to pull a lot of angle out, and that definitely affected her going from outside zone 2 to 3. But also the commitment level going into inside clip 1 from outside zone 1, 2. No matter how hard you flick it at the beginning of the initiation, you have to have the right amount of speed going to outside zone 1 to inside 1, or you're going to have to either add speed or you're going to have to kill speed. And by killing speed and adding angle while you're going around it, you have to kind of sit there and not do anything. So you have to get back on gas as soon as possible, which is not what she did. But she got an 80. So
71 to an 80 is definitely a huge improvement. Next is number 80, Yuta Kumatsu over at Komatsu Racing in this new Lexus IS 350. Throwing in some angle in the outer zone 1. Nice throttle through. Let's throttle through. Keep going through outer zone 2. Pushing to outer zone 3. Taking his bumper away at outer zone 3 and rolling all the way through with a strong finish.
Yeah, that was definitely a lot more exciting. He threw a lot of angle coming into outside or going out to outside zone 1.
Yeah, and here's his see how he started on the other side? He didn't flick it as hard as he was earlier.
He had a wobble right there, but he's using the angle of the car. A little bit washed out a little bit over here.
But kept the angle and then took his bumper.
Yeah, so pretty good flick going from outside zone 2 to 3. But
definitely, though, during practice in his first run, he was initiating with a hard flick as initiation in. This time he kind of held off a little bit, which made him drag his angle all the way through and get more of outside zone 1 because he was struggling on getting the outside zone 1.
And so it looks like he figured out how can I say it, not drive up to outside zone 1 after he flicks it really hard. 81 points.
81, from 72 to an 81. So, man, we got all these 70s bumping up in the 80s. So this is going to be a huge challenge right here for top 32. Bumping the scores up. So next we have number 18.
Tetsuya Iha from Okinawa.
From Okinawa in the
Hardest
crown.
Okinawa.
Going all the way through, coming into inside clip 1. Washed out a little bit on that, but is it going to affect the rest? Holding the angle all the way through and trying to make it happen for the rest of the track right here. definitely was able to hold off after outer zone 2 the correction he had to make inside clip 1. He definitely held off and made outer zone 2 and 3 work for him.
Yeah, a lot of these cars that we've been seeing bunched up right now has been getting really, really similar scores on the style side of it. Number one, because of the commitment level isn't high like the cars that are getting, in the 80s.
Especially in the beginning part. They'll either get one or the other. They'll commit, like he committed to the second half, but the initial part, he didn't have that full commitment.
Yeah, so interesting.
76. He actually dropped 1 point. He scored a 77 initially.
Interesting to say that this Ebisu West course that we had last year and this year, we changed up a little bit of the placement of the outside zone 1 and in clip 1. So it's a little bit more deeper into the turn.
Which makes it challenging.
Exactly, it's a little bit more challenging. So that kind of divided everybody into like groups of, what kind of, how to tackle actually the track. So
next we have number 93, Manki Ito with Team Hirano Tire and the JZX 100 Chaser swinging through, getting outside zone 1, but maybe too much of it and having to wash out and not be able to complete the run.
That would have been pretty awesome if you were able to pull that off, because I know he spun out, but that's where you want to see. You want to see the cars being on the verge of spinning or not spinning, going off course or not going off course. Like right here, it did rotate a little bit more, but if he had a little bit more speed carrying into it, maybe he could have pulled it off.
Exactly.
Where the car would have been taken more on the outside of the in-clip.
But it looks like, scoring an 80 probably, might do the trick. Keyword might. I can't 100% say.
Yeah, we shouldn't say anything because we're not taking score.
I'm over here saying stuff that I might regret. Yeah. But, definitely do like the fact that he realized he scored an 80. He's going to come in and he's going to bring something else out here, and he tried to initiate a sweet entry.
That was cool. I mean, I think a lot of drivers definitely should, give it a little challenge, because I think that's where you start opening new doors.
But the scary thing is like the next driver coming up, number 328, Shinichiro Saito with Car Guy Racing. He actually had an incomplete for his initial run.
So I don't want him to go and challenge things. I just want to give him a good score.
Exactly.
So he can make it through, yeah.
True. So we shall see. And this is actually the father of the youngest FT driver, like I was saying earlier. So it's pretty cool seeing a father-son duo out here. Initiating real late on that. Just got to get this run in to get some points on the board. Swinging around to outer zone 2. Trying to hit outer zone 3, but real shallow, and then shallow into outer zone 2. But being able to complete a run, but it was really close because his initial initiation right here, we'll see on the replay, seemed like it was a little late.
Yeah, late or not late, either or. Very low energy, no kind of flick, very low angle, and I think he's missing a lot of the most of the outside zone 1 for the line. Very shallow,
all the
very
zones,
low energy, yeah. So definitely not going to be a higher commitment score.
Yeah, the line was definitely not there. He wasn't hitting the zones like he was supposed to, and that initial flick just kind of took away from that run. But it was a run. It's going to be points on the board. So let's see what the judges have to say and see if it can actually push them to the next round for top 32. But like we were talking about, there's 42 drivers, so at least 10 drivers aren't going to make it to the next round. And it's going to come down to these scores that they're pushing out for this second run for qualifying. Got another 69. Threw down a 69. So
man, the 60s, I don't know if that's going to cut it, so we're going to have to see. Listen to the announcements after this, who's going to make it through top 32, but tough. He's probably on the bubble, or it's going to be tough.
So next lined up, we have number 85, Daisuke Hara in the Team MJ style with Action. Project Mew, Action, S15, PJ Powers swinging through, committing to it, throttling. Ooh, push all the way through. Let's see. committing to outer zone 2 and 3, but not maximizing as much of that zone that could happen. So like you were saying before, speed isn't everything.
It's not, because we're at a drifting competition.
Exactly.
So we want to see the car sideways, flicking the car side. Like right here, he has great angle right here. The only thing I would say is going from here to here is just, how can I say it, not a high rate angle to high rate angle. He just wanted to look like he was very quick, but at the same time trying to just get it over with.
Yeah.
Almost. So
that was rough because, yeah, outer zone 3 definitely missed much of outer zone 3 on there, which affected inside clip 2.
Yeah, so that's going to hurt him on the line score, I believe. And I'm not going to say that I saw a whole lot of angle either, but that's not my area of judgment. So
74 for the initial run, so let's see what the second run gave him.
Yeah. But, I mean, there was a lot of commitment because he was on it. You know, he was on gas pretty fast. Yeah.
After inside clip 1, yeah, definitely gassed all the way through.
We're just nitpicking at, you know, what not to do, but at the same time, he did do a lot of goodness in his driving, too, so he looked like he was on it. So we'll see what the score is going to be like. Oh,
81, so 74 to an 81. Definitely an improvement. But already at the line right now, we have number 61, Kunihiko Teramachi in the Nichie Racing with Good Ride Motorsports, S15 2J powered. So he scored an 85 for his initial run.
Oh, I remember. He did something amazing, but he screwed up somewhere. Yeah.
There you go. Nice.
Whoa.
Coming in.
Whoa.
Commit to that. All the way through. Push.
Whoa.
Committing to it. Whoa. And being able to solidify that coming through to outer zone 2 and outer zone 3, but still holding through inside clip 2. Now that right there.
That's what he did earlier. He screwed that up a little bit.
But he made it happen, though.
He made it happen this time. Now I'm going to have to see how far he was washed out, because we're not asking for a backwards entry, but definitely.
Look at that.
But he is.
Oh, he's still in. He rode that line as far as he can, but he still kept it his inside zone 1. That was, man, I was pretty speechless on that.
Yeah, very exciting on my end as a style judge. That was really cool. And, you know,
to hold it on that line.
Exactly. But at the same time, because when you do an entry like that, there's an area where you're kind of pausing because you're kind of going over the center of where your 90 degree is, and then you have to kind of wait for the car to settle, and that's the time when you're basically not doing anything in the car. You're just kind of waiting for the car to settle too. So
but luckily he was able to hold that angle, push through, and still keep his inside clip 1, because usually people were washing out there and getting real deep outside of inside clip 1. But to see that and him pull it through, that wasn't bad at all. That was, especially with the amount of speed he was coming in, I thought he was going to just give up and lock the brakes up. But he was like, nope, throttling through this one.
I think if he pulled out a little bit.
89 points. There you go. So from an 85 to 89.
So if he could pull out a little bit of angle there and get on gas a little bit earlier and tighten up the inside clip, that would have been definitely probably the best in that area.
True.
Yeah.
So next we have 770 Yusuke Kusaba in the Cusco Racing A90 Supra. It's a clean new Supra right here coming through. 2J powered. A little less flick on that. Couldn't get full outside zone 1, but trying to hold through to get outside zone 2, and then closing on outside zone 3 and sweeping into inside clip 2. Last run was a 76. There was a little, hesitation and, see right here on the replay.
I think it's an average initiation. Kind of leaves a little bit on the outside zone 1.
And right there, it's kind of like...
It just seems like he's just...
The fluidity wasn't there,
off, exactly. It doesn't look like he's smoothly driving through the track. It looks like he's... I'm not sure if it's, the car's trying to move forward. He's trying to control the car.
Yeah.
You can obviously see that he's trying to control the car really, really, really bad, badly.
But the car's taking a little bit more advantage of him than anything else. There's that hesitation, like you were saying. Fluidity's huge. But a 76 initially. Let's see if he can slide in a few more points.
That's what I wanted to add to the earlier run, not before I forget about it. You have to do
81. There you go.
You have to do a chaseable lead run. So
okay,
when
so
you have
too
cars
much angle.
throwing too much angle, washing out, and having to wait, basically, if the car behind is ready to charge and the car in front isn't going anywhere, it's definitely not going to be as chaseable as it should be.
That's true. That's true. That makes sense. That kind of puts everything together there.
Yeah, just to before I forget.
So next is 555 Yukio Fausto in the Sideways Experience S15. Committing to that full initiation right there with the angle. Taking out outer zone, inside clip 1. Rolling to outer zone 2 and outer zone 3. Having a lot of excitement on his run, but definitely that initial angle coming out of outside zone 1 to inside clip 1 is probably going to affect him. Let's see on the replay how it looks. He did score a 63 initially.
Yeah,
I definitely know this looks a lot better than a 63 run.
Yeah, he ran over. This is probably the max angle you can get, but he looks like he came short. He had to go a little bit deeper, so he ran over inside clip pretty hard. So it looks like he was 2 tires off there. And he hit, the cones here and there. So very committed, very exciting, but the line was pretty off.
Ooh.
Uh-oh.
See the replay. Just lost that drone footage there.
Yeah, lost that.
Definitely would have gave us a better. It would have given us a better angle on that inside clip 1 on how much he took out inside clip 1. But lost his bumper in the process, taking it off track right now. But like I was saying earlier, definitely an exciting driver. I mean, the amount of smoke he throws down, the speed he puts out, he shows that he's committed to throw something down.
Yeah, I mean, the only thing he'd have to do is kind of put it into the right place, where if he can place the car in the right places, outside zones and inside clips and stuff like that, definitely would be, definitely be getting a high score. But it looked like he hit the in clip on the left side of his car, so it's not even his bumper actually. So that
79, definitely a huge improvement from his score of a 63 earlier. But I know he definitely wanted to be in the 80s, 90s on his.
To be not to be worried of tomorrow. Yeah, being 79 might be a little tough.
Still on that edge.
Yeah.
So next we have lined up is number 19, Yuichi Amagai with Perfect Style S15. Like I was saying, I love the color of this car. 2J powered S15 right here coming through. Early initiation coming out of the jump. Swinging through outer zone 1, taking all of what he could out of that. But can he recover? Oh, had to correct right there. Into inside clip 2. Coming out of inside clip 1, definitely had to recover from that huge speed that he had coming into outer zone 1. Man, we wanted that, but I just felt like he just didn't throttle through to make himself stick to that.
Yeah, right here was beautiful.
But then he throttled down a little and corrected it right there. Oh. See, the slightest bit right there, those corrections. It's so easy to see, but...
And you know what's funny is if you play it safe, it's a lot less risk to make a mistake, but you're not going to get a higher score. But in order to get to the next level where you're taking a lot of risk, where he did right now, and there was a huge correction, it's definitely going to hurt him on his score there too. But you're not going to be able to get, a high score without taking that risk.
Yeah, not having that fluidity right there. He had an 80 initially, so we'll see if 81, a little bit higher up on there. Moving in the right direction, but 81, 80 seemed like you're pretty solid for top 32. But I do like how he came out and threw that hard angle in the beginning, initiating at the 3 cone probably?
Yeah, that was definitely something to watch.
So next is number 63, Yoshimi Mori in Team Mori S15. Taking full advantage of outer zone 1, swinging around but having too much for inside clip 1. Trying to recover, but just losing the angle after outer zone 1 or not outer zone 1, outside or inside clip 1. After that, it's just he lost a lot of it, and he kind of shallowed out on a lot of the other outer zones and inside clip.
Yeah, this area, a lot of commitment coming into here, but yes, he washes out on the in clip. Then he has to kind of dig himself out, finding himself, find his way back to the in clip.
It's just crazy. It's the domino effect again, right there. Initially with the inside clip 1 going too wide, and then just affect the angle coming into outer zone 2, washing him out early, and then not being able to fully commit to outer zone 3. So
yeah, so I think at this track, instead of being super committed, it might even be, how can I say it? It might even be not smarter, but it might even be better to try and make or be fluid a little bit more than being committed, you know?
Carrying the full fluidity.
Because you want
through
both.
It.
Yeah, you want both, but this
track
track
I think
looks like
style carries a bigger number than some of these other points. But yes, he scored a 78 initially and a 78 again, so highest score there, 78. Next is number 963, Daichi Mizutani. With Mizutani Jidosa with Zeknova. Swinging around, coming to outer zone 3. Ooh, but.
So this car, earlier, I heard that he wasn't going to run his second run because of maybe some kind of troubles. Maybe that just kind of came back up and bit him. And, yeah.
Because, right there at the end, I don't know what it was. It almost sounded like it was in the wrong gear and lost power, but it just lost power.
It sounded like he's running on like 3 cylinders or something. So, I think, leading up to it, too, it was really choppy.
It was.
So I wouldn't say that it was, going to be a very beautiful run or one of the best runs. But
I mean, 82, hopefully they can square his car away, because I want to say 82 is probably going to push him in the top 32, but it's a matter of what is his car going to do? Can they get it, where it needs to be?
Exactly. And the next car, car number 344, Hayato Miyoshi is actually out. His car,
he's out?
Yeah, they had to call it. Something's wrong with this car. His beautiful R34 Skyline is not going to make it to the line, and he is sitting on an incomplete from his first run. So definitely not the way he wanted his end. He wanted to end his weekend, but he's going to have to because he's not going to be able to make his second run.
Man, that's a rough one right there. So next on the line, we have number 90, Shinji Minowa with Heyman TM Labo. JZX 100 Mark II. 2J powered, like we were talking about earlier. It's a new car to him. He's in a 100 chassis now. He was in a 90 last year, sent it to the States, and supposed to be competing there, but with everything going on. Full-on commitment here. Throwing down, taking all of outer zone 1. Coming into outer zone 2 to outer zone 3, and is throttling through both zones, but maybe too much because it caused them to a little bit shallow outside of inner clip 2. But definitely coming out and just beating that rev limiter.
Yeah, I would say very similar to his first run. There are a few things. Like right here in this area, he couldn't get back on gas. He had to kind of stop, go.
Yeah. And then right there, he had too much speed because the angle wasn't right for outer zone 3.
Yeah, so maybe he should have done a transition from outside zone 2 to 3 a little bit earlier.
Harder flick.
Yeah, or a harder flick or something faster. But, I mean, it was good enough. A very nice run. We're just comparing it to his first run and how it's going.
Right there, yep. Little adjustment, then not maximizing there.
And like I said, this is a tough job to do because we have to be strict and we have to kind of nitpick. Oh, he got 90 points.
Look at that. So he had an 89 initially, and now he has a 90. That is our first 90, isn't it?
Yeah, it is.
There you go.
Yeah, so the style score didn't change, so maybe an angle or line, he gained a point.
Yeah.
So basically he got a 90 now. So
nice. Good job on that. Pushing in the 90. Good job. So next on the line is number 5, Tomoki Tanaka in the V style with Tetsujin.
Team Tetsujin. V-Style with Tetsujin GR. Tomoki Tanaka. He said Tetsujin.
I stopped talking there. Coming in, committing to that all the way through. Kind of washed out a little bit in outer zone 1, but sweeping around to inside clip 1 to outer zone 2. Throwing all the excitement as he can out of his car right now. Not a bad thing for excitement right there. I definitely like that run. It's just, you know, he could have had a little bit better angle with it. Not washing out as early as he did out of outer zone 1. Let's see what this replay is.
Yeah, I would say if he could clean up here and not going that wide after inside clip 1, then there was an adjustment right there, yeah, for outside zone 2. So not the most fluid, but looks like he's going through all the zones.
Stayed on the throttle,
with a good amount of angle,
or kept his RPMs up for sure. Scored a 77 initially, so let's see what he threw down for this second run. Maybe that's what it is. Punching the acceleration, just hitting the rev limiter gives it more excitement.
No, because the car's not really going anywhere. It just sounds cooler, yeah.
There you go, 82.
He got 82. So he must have, I did give him the same score as a style judge earlier and now, so he must have gained a score 5 points from line or angle or something. So this is the fun part too. When you compare the scores, then you know how they're actually making a better score in what areas, you know?
Yeah, next is 888. Kenji Yamada, also known as Jamaken, in the S15 Nago Techno Larada Company. Initiating, taking full advantage of outer zone 1, swinging around to inside clip 1. Pushing all the way through, committing to both zones. At the same time holding some nice angle. Scored an 89 initially, and that was not a bad run at all. I like that. That was clean.
Yeah. I really like his flick. Right here, there's a little bit of waver. Then right here, he had to wait a little to settle the car. He had to e-brake going into the inside clip.
But he tried to make it up right here.
Yeah, so that was like a give or take. He didn't, I'm pretty sure he filled that zone better than he would have if he didn't do the adjustment. But at the same time, he's going to lose a little bit of score in the style part because of that as well. So
definitely saw it coming out of that inside clip 1 and hitting outer zone 2. He's like, okay, I made an adjustment. Now I got to throttle through and make up for it.
Exactly. So he made it, you know, overall it looked like a good run. So I'm looking forward to seeing a high score on the board again.
89, so let's see what he could push out for this one. Seen a lot of improvement so far, second round of qualifying. 89. Wow. Not bad still. That's, I mean, solidified for top 32 right there.
Yeah, so you would compare, a lot of people compare, okay, it's in the 80s or it's 90 points, you know, but 90 points here, that means this track is probably really hard to tackle, you know.
Oh, it is.
So
next we have number 38, Tadahiro Fukada in the Tanabe SSR Team Dunlop. Real shallow inside that outer zone 1 and correcting himself to get inside clip 1, rolling into outer zone 3 and just trying to make up for the initial part of that run right there. So his first run was an 82, and you know, here you go, the replay right here. Real shallow right there. Didn't really get into the zone for outer zone 1. Inside clip 1, he tried to make up for it by squeezing through, but it messed up with the angle for outer zone 2. And with that transition, he kind of made up for it for outer zone 3 and maximized as much as he could of outer zone 3. But outer zone 2 was kind of messed with whenever coming out at inside clip 1.
Yeah, so I was just watching the replay right now too. Overall, he's adjusting his car the whole time. He's not, the commitment level isn't there. He's, how can I say it, steering the car and kind of, how can I say it? It doesn't look like he's driving this, driving the track smoothly. He looks like he's kind of struggling and trying to figure out as he's going. So that's kind of not what we want to see.
So he did drop. So he went from an 80 to a 76. And that's the big thing right there. But we were talking about earlier, once again, you mess up the initial initiation into outer zone 1, it kind of, that's where you had to make up for inside clip 1, and that messed everything up afterwards.
Exactly.
He was playing the catch-up game when he shouldn't have.
Exactly.
So next we have number 13, Yasuhiro Takaki. And the 180 SX swinging around. Nice entry into outer zone 1, but can he hold it all the way through to outer zone? Nope, outer zone 2 was a little shallow along with outer zone 3. It was a very safe run that could have maximized a lot more out of the zones or utilized more of the outer zones.
Man, I would have to say, this was almost a perfect line and perfect angle going through outside zone 1 to inside clip 1. If he had, I'm not sure if it's power or gearing anything, if he had more power or gearing going through outside zone 2, that would have been really, really nice. But obviously he wasn't able to do that, so we're going to have to dock him for scores in that area. But
you can definitely see there's a split here. I mean, granted, we're coming toward the end of this qualifying session, but there's definitely a split. It's either good for the initial outer zone 1 or after inside clip 1.
Yeah.
That's that breaking point.
So like what he just did right now, he set the car, he got back on gas, and he didn't mess with the steering or gas or e-brake. He just kept going, and he went smoothly around there, and that's definitely what we want to see. If he could have pulled off outside zone 2 without that wavering he had, and that definitely would have been a higher score.
But I mean, from a 77 threw himself into the mid 80s at an 84. That's pretty solid right there. And he can't complain for that run. That run was really good for what it was. Next is number 14, Tomohiro Murayama in the S14 SR powered. Initially coming in, can he hold it? Push it through all the way around. Coming into outer zone 2, swinging it, flicking it around to outer zone 3. Was able to land that. Kind of got scared for that initial initiation, but scoring a 75 for the first run,
I think it's going to up the score for sure.
Definitely.
It's just his initiation was really nice, but same time, I don't want to compare it with the earlier run, but he didn't have right here. He had to adjust himself, get to the in clip 1, and a little after this at the in clip 2, he came a little too short here, so he had to kind of make an adjustment here to go work his way around in clip 2. But definitely a better run than what he had earlier.
Here's a little bit of drone footage. See the angle coming in, outer zone 1. He didn't 100% maximize everything he can get out of it. Oh, had a little stutter there, but he didn't maximize every single bit of it, but definitely, like you were saying, better than the 75 that he produced at his initial run. So let's see what the scores are. 84. Huge improvement right there. 9-point improvement on that one. It's really good. So next we have lined up is 666 Shuichi Mano in the Chari Boy style S13 1 Via. 2J powered. So he scored a 70 on his initial run and did really good in round 2. So have pretty high expectations for what he's going to push out this time.
Yeah, so let's see what he's going to do. Definitely has a lot of room.
He does. Coming through, early initiation coming through. Didn't have a huge flick coming into outer zone 1. Rolling to inside clip 1, hugging real tight there. And trying to throttle to get that angle that he wanted from outer zone 2 and 3. And then finishing off inside clip 2 perfectly inside. But definitely didn't have that full fluidity that he wanted. That initial right here coming on this replay.
Yeah, he's a small line there.
He was a little reserved on that flick.
Yeah, then a lot of adjustment around here to put himself on the line he wanted to be. Very shallow, not a good rate of angle from high angle to high angle.
Finished strong right at the end for the inside clip 2, but we'll see if it's good enough to bump his 70 score up a little bit more. But that initial initiation he had just seemed too reserved and too safe for what he needed to get his score bumped up. So we'll see what it does, though. See what the rest of his run could have helped for him.
79.
Boom. So 9-point improvement.
Man, so I don't even know where the what the bubble is going to be on score. But I'm glad I'm not the one waiting because
in the 70s, yeah, 70s is scary right now.
Yeah.
That was like the middle zone, but now that's kind of like coming to the bottom end.
Oh yeah, such a bad feeling too.
So next is number 84, Masakazu Hashi. In the Pieceworks RDS Racing Valino S15. Swinging around, and not finding the right gear to be in and just losing it. So that huge correction is going to play a huge part.
Man, he is stressing because he's sitting on a 72, and I think that's why maybe the nerves getting to him.
But that zone, it's right here. Let's see. Had the wrong angle coming in inside zone 1 and right there. And then literally had to straighten up and correct. So the commitment right there, if he would have committed to that inside zone 1, I think he would have been better off than what he did.
Yeah, so I didn't know what he had to do. I didn't know if he had to kick down a gear or something.
But there you go. He had an incomplete due to that correction right there that he had to completely straighten up on it. That is tough because 72 is close to where we might be.
That's like borderline maybe. I'm not even sure if that's.
I can't even say at this point because everybody's moving up with their points.
Oh yeah, everybody's in the 80s now. It seems like so. The safe zone is in the 80s definitely. So
10 drivers are going to be getting chopped off for the top 32. But next we have number 33, Junya Ishikawa in the 286 V6 powered right here. Pushes same issue he was having earlier with the committing with the throttle, pushing around to outer zone 2 or 3 and the inside of clip 1.
Man, it looks like
he just seems like he keeps clutch kicking.
Well, I think because it's easy to see because the car is moving a lot, so it's very easy to tell what kind of movement the car or the.
But better than his first incomplete. He had a completed run, but you can see how it's every time it's squatting, he's throttling off, throttling on, so it takes that fluidity out of his run.
Exactly.
But it was a run thrown down, so let's see. I mean, right now at this point, no telling what the bottom numbers are for the bottom 10. See what the judges have to say. And let's see, there you 86 points. I think he's a
third 86 got an 86.
Can you imagine that?
Yeah.
Definitely, I think he has himself a spot.
Yeah.
So good job. Next is going to be number 8, Koichi Yamashita in the Team Weld JZX 100 Mark II. He scored an 89 for his initial run. I'm expecting him to just come out here and just have a good time.
Yeah, I think that's what he's going to do, too.
Yeah,
maybe.
He's going to throw
it's either that or he's going to do something.
Conservative run and say, I finished it.
Yeah.
Well, let's see right here. From the sound of it, he's coming in hot. Initiating full angle, taking it in all the way, absorbing all of outer zone 1, coming to outer zone 2 with outer zone 3, not letting go of the throttle, just pushing all the way. And we were right. That initiation, he straight said, I'm 100 on this. And committing 100%.
Yeah.
And that fender took a beating, too. But overall, good run. I mean, I know we didn't talk much there, but here's the overview right here from the drone. You can see his angle coming through, flicking it out,
that was pretty committed.
it.
I like that. He uses the angle and approaches in-clip 1 without using too much adjustment,
but then
just from the angle, lowering the speed by using the angle is very beautiful.
And then utilizing the zone 100%. It's just, that's what you guys are looking for right there. It had fluidity. He utilized cone to cone, and made sure his tire was right in that back line. So let's see. So he had an 89 initially. 95. There you go. Our leader right there.
He stepped it up.
He really did.
I have to say that that run was probably the best run I've seen today.
But his spotter right there, what was it?
I think it's his wife.
Oh, it was his wife. Oh, there she is. Definitely, it's definitely being good on that, feeling good on that side of it, having an 89 into that, and then saying, I have nothing to lose here, but gain some points. And he just comes out and just throws it all out there.
Yeah.
So awesome run with a 95. Next we have at the line is going to be number 99, Kazuya Matsukawa, with a Hiroshima Toyota Team Droopy, the AE85 Trano with a Tureno with the 1GR V6 twin turbo, so it's a lot of motor underneath that light chassis. Initial run was 82, but we shall see. Definitely an awesome run by
Yamashita.
Yeah. Excited to see what the 85 is going to throw down. Come through. Initiation coming in, full angle. Could have utilized more of outer zone 1, but hitting outers, nailing outer inner clip 1, rolling to outer zone 2 to 3, and maximizing every bit of outer zone 3 to inside clip 2. Even though, with the situation hitting inside clip 1, he kept his angle to push to outer zone 2 and 3. So let's see this replay.
Just imagine if that was a little deeper, and if he would have cleared inside clip 1, that would have been pretty awesome. But he missed outside zone 1 right there.
But if he was deeper there, he would have cleared inside clip 1.
Yeah. So it is the initial starting point.
And he kind of had to fix there.
He DB'd too at the end. So, but it was a qualified run. We're going to go ahead and give him a score.
Maybe he'll score. He scored an 82. Maybe he scored an 85, just like the 86. But we shall see. This car does throw down, though. There's a lot of engine underneath that hood.
Yeah, there definitely is. It's a lot more than what the car comes stock, for sure. Because I have a stock one, so it's probably got like 10 times more of the horsepower.
It's true. You got better gas mileage, though.
Yeah, I do. I'm better for the environment.
There you go. Let's see what the judges got for him. So initially 82. See if he can move in the right direction. Oh, with a 70.
Well, his line was really bad. It was kind of obvious. So,
but 82 is still a solid run for a top 32. So he should feel really good. He had really not a whole lot to lose in that, so definitely came out to try to give what he could. But next we have number 125, Yoshichika Tamagawa in the car guy racing JZA80 Supra, swinging in. Coming into outer zone 1, dipping a little bit into outer zone 1 to the inside clip 1, rolling around to outer zone 2, and trying to maximize as much as he can to outer zone 3 without losing too much of the inside clip 2. And definitely, with an 81, he wanted to throw something good down. So he washed out a little bit early out of outer zone 2. And then outer zone 3, he didn't maximize the angle, or not angle, the line that he could have.
Yeah, so there was a long pause for him to get back on gas after he went through inside clip 1, where he didn't stay on gas to rotate the car around there. He kind of had to wait in order to. He waited till he was safe, and then he got on gas, if I could say. But he got an 87.
Better than what he initially got, which was 81. 87 is very nice, solidifying probably a spot in top 32.
Yeah, for sure.
So we're down to our last 5 drivers. So next is going to be coming up to the line, not quite yet, but coming up here soon is going to be number 17, Jin Horino in the Good Ride Team Tops, racing with Project Mu. Driving the S15 Sylvia. He actually got 3rd place in the Okubuki round, so scored a 79. He has a lot of room to move up. We expected a lot. Maybe we spoke too early last round or last qualifying for him. So, I'm not going to jinx him this time.
I don't think that's going to matter, really.
It doesn't, because he can't hear me.
He's gonna do what he does.
Yeah, he can't hear me.
so we'll see what he's got.
Here he goes.
For us.
Coming full throttle in, initiating real early, swinging around. Real shallow at outer zone 1, but coming into inner clip 1 to outer zone 2, corrected a little bit and had to bail a little bit out of outer zone 2, which affected the line coming into outer zone 3 and inner clip 1. I mean, can't say it enough. Like you said, we sound like a broken record. If the line, if you have the wrong line, you're gonna mess the rest of the zones up.
But he is very, very fluid, I gotta tell you, because very smooth. Right here, he had to gain angle there, so we're gonna have to dock him some points for there. But definitely one of the smoother cars out there.
Oh yeah, his throttle control is on point. He's not like clutch kicking the whole time through. He's actually keeping his momentum.
Yes, and being smooth is very, very hard. Being smooth and being accurate is probably the most hardest thing to do, especially for a drifting car, because the tire is, as you drive, it's getting less and less grippy. The temperature changes all the time. You only have 2 laps of 20 seconds each, to prove to the judges, that you can make it. So
79. So
79.
he rolled his same score of a 79.
Man, is 79 the bubble?
No.
I'm not sure. I'm not going to say anything.
Yeah.
All right, so we got 4 more cars to go.
Next is going to be number 73, Kazuki Hayashi in Team West Auto with Good Ride. What's up?
Oh, he was the runner-up from Okubuki.
Yep, second
round,
place
right?
in Okubuki, which was last round. He scored an 84 on the last run, so let's see what he's got here. Pushing in, fully committing for that outer zone 1. Coming in a little bit deep on the inside clip 2. Kind of affected his outer zone 2, but outer zone 3 he made up. But maybe came in too hot because inside clip 2 he was a little washed out on that.
Yeah, so I would have to say more than his run he made earlier, I think there's more commitment than anything. But at the same time, he is overrunning everything, so he can't keep the course tight. Like he missed inside clip 1. Because of that, he had to adjust himself at outside zone 2. Misses outside zone 2. Basically, he is concentrating on going fast, which is not what we're looking for, So
and it seems like he was trying to make up for everything that he was messing up, and he kind of landed outer zone 3. But even though he landed that, he didn't anticipate coming in too hot to outer zone 2 or inside clip 2.
Yeah, and we have people coming in FD Japan. The drivers coming to us and we're like, oh man, I'm doing my best. I'm going as fast as I can. It's like, but we're not asking you to go as fast as you can. We're asking you to drift through the track and show us what you can do sideways, So just gaining speed and going in fast doesn't really, yeah, there's commitment and it's probably more frightening to be in a car doing that. But definitely we want you to run the line the judges are telling you to run. And, be as sideways as possible,
And understanding the points that are going to be, where each zone is rated at.
Exactly. So he did miss a couple of the in clips and stuff like that, so yeah.
So he did definitely drop a little bit from an 84 to an 81. But 80 being in the 80s is solid.
Yeah, just imagine, though, if that run was a little bit more sideways and if he was tighter on the in clips, it would have been really good.
So next we have number 100, Andrew Gray, Team Kazama with power vehicles in his Lexus RC 2J powered. Coming in real hot with some speed. Dipped into outer zone 2 to inside clip 1. Hitting outer zone 2 and outer zone 3. Just throwing some smoke down with some heat. and able to hit every bit of those zones right there. Just like his last run, I mean, he literally knows what he has to do. So he scored an 89 last time, and he came in with some heat this time.
Okay, so what he did earlier was it looked like he was, I'm not going to say playing it safe, but he put the car where it had to be. But this time he did it with attitude.
Yes.
Yeah.
Definitely right, especially that initiation. With that speed that he came in, he's like 89, you know.
Yeah, so earlier, compared to earlier, he looked like he was carrying a little bit more angle going into initiation.
There's his crew.
His angle going into in-clip number 1 was very smooth, and he did the minorest adjustment that he had to do to go around the in-clip 1, and he kind of put it all together. So definitely looking forward to a good score.
See this score right here. Got our camera zoomed in some. Let's see what this score is going to be. A lot of anticipation on this one. With an 89, 94. Oh, missed it by a hair for the top score. So, like we were saying, he was the winner for Okubuki, and he's a 3rd overall points leader right now. So, 94 rolling into top 32 is not a bad situation to be in. So next we have number 36, Kazumi Takahashi in the TMS Racing Team BMW E92. 1G powered V6 twin turbo. He's overall the number 2 points leader with 151. He scored an 82 on his initial run, so let's see what he's going to throw down here. I'm expecting big things out of him.
Yeah, from what I remember, he kind of messed up his outside zone 1, I believe, but then
which
the rest
messed up his angle for inside clip 1.
Yeah. Oh, we're just waiting on the smoke to kind of go away because it got Andrew Gray just smoked out the place. See now,
and we don't have a breeze going, so.
See, this is what I'm talking about. Like, well, yeah, the breeze isn't here either, too. But a lot of the drivers in the U.S. too, they definitely throw down a lot of smoke.
Oh,
so
yeah.
It's like every run is like you have to sit there, and it's very irritating to be the next guy up because you got to sit in the car and be like, "Yo, I want to hurry up and go," you know.
But at the same time, tandeming with them isn't probably fun either.
Yeah, it's not because I mean I got smoked out and. You know, in
that's
human
gonna
nature.
That's going to be interesting tomorrow, especially going from outer zone 2 to 3. There's going to be that transitional smoke.
Yeah, that's going to be really hard because human nature, you want to get out of the smoke as soon as possible. So you see guys kind of like peek out of the smoke all of a sudden and they're going the wrong direction, and you know they come out and they got the "oh man, I screwed up" face.
Yeah.
You know, because you know they didn't want to go leave the smoke as earlier, but. It's
That's
only
true.
Human nature when you really can't see. You know?
It's going to be crazy tomorrow because coming from outer zone or inside clip 1, they're going to be roasting tires there the whole time, and then transitioning from 2 to 3, they're just going to kick that smoke into the guy's face.
Yeah, it's going to be
girl's
crazy.
face, yeah.
So hopefully it's more windier tomorrow.
True, but here we go right here. See a huge initiation out of this right here. Early initiation coming in fully sideways, committing to outer zone 1. Keep pushing through, holding it.
Whoa.
Landing it right there, hitting outer zone 2 to outer zone 3 and throwing it all out there. He's like, my 82 is going to be moving up. I'm not staying where I'm at.
And I definitely think it is going to be.
It is. I did get scared, though. That initiation coming through. Here's a replay right here. You'll see him initiate, drag all the way out, and you're like, oh, man, is he going to be able to land this? Or is he going to smash this cone?
But that's great. He did hit the in-clip.
He barely touched it.
Look at that. Look at that. No angle change, no steering adjustments all the way until he got to in-clip 1 area. The line, if he would have gave the line a little bit more space and in-clip and getting a little more outside to the outside zone, probably would have been.
Here you go. Here's a above. Drone footage right here. I'm not gonna lie, these last 2 cars, now Ueo's gotta hold it down, but been some exciting runs to finish us off. I'm interested to see what the score is gonna be. Definitely gonna be higher than an 82. If not, then they're gonna have to hire me as a judge.
Here. The seat is open.
No, I'm good right now. I can barely pronounce names right now, so let's work on that still.
91 points. There you go.
Yep.
Like I said, though, I think if he would have stuck with outside zone 1 a little longer, and if he would have cleaned up inside clip 1, 2,
yeah,
that would have changed things around
score,
drastically. So, but I gotta say, jumping up from an 82 to a 91, hands down.
Yep. Can't complain on that.
Jinx. We said hands down together.
I know we did. And then I was like thinking, I was like, am I going to say you owe me a So last but not least here is number 15, Katsuhiro Ueno with Valino tires, S15 VR38, mean machine right here. And I'm expecting him to throw down because he's got an 87. He has nothing to lose. The other two kind of showed him what's up. So
well, the guys that are making 90s now, they definitely came in harder and they definitely did a better job than their first run for sure.
They just want to put a score down, and now they're comfortable where they're at. So they're like, hey, you know, let's get number one.
Yeah, so let's see if Ueno is comfortable enough to put down something crazy for his second run.
I'm expecting it right here. Coming in with some speed, burning rubber all the way down. Full angle to outer zone 1. Nice! Look at the sound of that VR38 right there. Oh, but hitting a little lag there, but right there with outer zone 3.
All right, so the difference that he had with the other cars that were in the 90s right now, from a style judge point of view, is, I mean, everything looked really exciting and he was really, really committed, but he is on the e-brake a little bit too much when he's leaving outside zone 1. Right here, e-brake 1, 2, 3.
That's true.
That's a lot of e-braking to adjust the car. And what we want the driver to do is swing the car around, give it angle, and flow it through. So that's going to actually hurt him on the fluidity part of it.
Yeah, it definitely was just destroying that limiter on that car. But here you go. Here's the drone footage for it. Had nice angle coming in, and then had to like make up right here. But it just seemed like his car was really soft from Okubuki. Like, it had a lot of, like, bounce to it.
Yeah, that reminds me of the droopy 86, too. Every time he's getting on gas, it looks like the exhaust or something's hitting on the ground and it's sparking because there's so much rear movement. And, you know, I definitely and I think the trend where a lot of the Japanese cars are built, they sit a little higher, and the U.S. cars actually sit a little lower, too. Hey, he got an 87 again, so
he tied his earlier score with an 87. But, man, what an amazing job. 2 rounds of 42 cars pushing for top 32. Definitely ended the day with some amazing driving with the last 3 drivers that we had.
Or the last couple of drivers.
Yeah, couple, yeah, true. You're right on that.
Man, I got super excited. That was really nice. That's why I love watching drifting, and that's why I like doing this. So, hope you guys liked it too.
It was a thrill. But most definitely, stay tuned to us definitely for tomorrow's for our top 32 because that's going to be where the excitement's at right there.
Yeah, look at how excited we got just from cars driving by themselves on track. Tomorrow we're going to have tandem. These guys are going to go head to head, top 32. There's Yamashita, I think.
ここでも前回奥行きでも単走優勝取れたんで、ここもちょっと単走も頑張って取りたいなと思ってたんで、できてよかったです。でも明日があるんで、ちょっと気合い入れて、明日もいいものを見せられるように頑張ります。ありがとうございました。ありがとうございます。
Of course, he just qualified first. But looking at these cars driving by themselves, and I got excited. Just imagine what tomorrow is going to become like. It's gonna, we're gonna have some very close tandem. It's going to be really, really high speed, a lot of commitment, a lot of big angle. I mean,
it'll be bright and early. It'll be a full day of drifting. We had top 32, and then we're gonna have top 16 right after that, short or a little bit after that with a little break. But definitely going to be a fun-filled day tomorrow with a lot of tandem driving and. Gonna push these guys to the limit, especially with this track setup. It's different from what they're used to, but it's gonna be something that they already adjusted to, but it's a matter of how they're gonna perform with one another.
Exactly, and then now the guys that are laying down the killer lead runs, sometimes we watch tandem, and the guys that chase these cars actually start getting better too as they go. So as they go up the ladder, they start getting better too. So definitely going to be really interesting. It's going to be a high-level tandem, I hope, tomorrow. And I hope the weather stays the way it is, And I said it. I'm not going to knock on wood either. I don't care,
Nice, cool. But, yes, we really do appreciate you all that tuned in for qualifying. and checking out all 42 of these cars that qualified twice. So that's 84 runs that we just went through. So we really do appreciate it, and we do need or hope you guys to stay tuned tomorrow for the tandem and competition.
Yeah, make sure you come back and check us out. I know we're kind of annoying, but the driving is going to be superb.
Exactly.
So
That's what you're here for.
that's what
But yes,
that's what you're here for.
thanks again, and we will see you all tomorrow bright and early.
Thank you guys. Take care and
Be
peace
safe.
out.
Peace out.
That was Robbie and Kenny.
Yeah. We're still on.